Hey, what's going on, guys? Donnie coming to you from Masao, Japan, Pinku Style Podcast. This is episode 101. Got my guy Carlos here. We'll get into him in a second here. If you guys haven't seen episode 100 with Jarvis Hall, go back and check that out. For the guys who are new to the channel by way of Carlos' Circle, definitely go back and check the other one stuff, because we talked about a lot of different things, a lot of different guests, and pretty much out of those 100 episodes, I've only done like maybe 20 or maybe 30 or so solo. So that's do the math. That's a lot of people that I've talked to, and they're all my guys. Again, Carlos here. We met at Ebisu Circuit. I think it was like 2009, 2010. It was like before you guys. It was before you guys left, man. What year was that? You remember?
Dude, yeah, like 2008. Yeah. You gave me. I'll never forget it, because like that was like, I had broken a tie rod.
Oh yeah, that's right. In a school course.
Yeah, school course broke me off, right? Like, and it was getting late, and like you just happened to like show up like a ninja with a backpack, and you were like, "Oh, you broke a tie rod?
Yeah,
you need one of these?" And like, and I was like, "Oh." Like, you were like, "Yeah, you want it?" And I was like, "Oh my god, we need it to drive home." You're like, "Go ahead, have it." And that was like my first like real introduction to like, you know how the drift community is, like people help each other, you know, on a whim. It's really weird. You know, back then for me, it was really weird because, you know, I came from like time attack and like time trials with my Evo. So it was like a very selfish, like racing community. You know what I'm saying? So like, I like I said, it's what I remember from that event, because it was like, oh, we made it home. And I'll never forget, because it was like, you had like a whole bag of them. Like, you were like slanging. I don't know what you were doing. Yeah. And I was like, oh man, thank you. Yeah, it's crazy times, man.
No, man, that's like, you know, that's one thing I do. There's like, as a reason that and I talk about a lot, because we're kind of in the social media age and everything, and like you just mentioned offline, you've been away for a bit on social media, and I can fully understand like going away from it, because a lot of guys is just what you see now is like a lot of guys are living fake lives on it. And back then when we met, I think Facebook was around, but it was kind of still in its infancy, kind of still.
Yeah, like there like we didn't have like GPS navigation, right. Like, you know, we were still using like strip maps. For people that don't know, strip maps.
MapQuest, right? Yeah. So during that time, man, where were you guys? Because I know you guys went through Okinawa. Were you guys on mainland at that time, or were you Okinawa?
No, we were mainland at that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no, you moved.
Yeah, that was a flash visit. Like we were here for a hot like 9 months.
Oh yeah.
Came back. Yeah, they offered me, like, at that time I was doing contracting, and they offered me like GS 13, and you know, I turned it down. And most people are like, "What? You turned down a 13?" It was like, "Yeah, I didn't want to work for the guy." So I dipped out, came back 6 months later over to Okinawa.
Yeah.
And that was it, man. Yeah, just living the life.
So now,
jumped in cars in Okinawa.
And before we get like too far into it, welcome back, man. How's it been coming back?
Dude, we are 2 months in, and it is like crack cocaine out here, man. Yeah. Like, cherry blossoms were in bloom. Seasonal like chew highs, like the drinks. I'm like pounding umeshu. Like it's
yeah.
I miss everything about it. We've been eating out like all the time. You know, I finally found, you know, thick cut pork ramen.
Oh, yeah, dude. That's dude. I told my wife, like, the noodles and the broth is like, all right, cool, but like we have a joint here called Thunder Ramen, which supposedly they kind of acquired the style from Okinawa, and that's what I was told. But dude, it's called barbecue pork spicy miso ramen, right? Dude, there's thick, there's no fat on it. I'm like, bro. Yeah.
Dude, people don't know. Dude, people have no idea. Like, you come over here and visit, and like, you know, you live over here, and then you go back to the States, and you feel like a chump. Yeah. Because like you know, I had friends that, you know, obviously, you know, would still stay over here, and they would send me like hate mail, like pictures of like ramen, and like like I just like delete them, you know, like, oh, I hate you, you know, like yeah, the food's been killer, man. Like you know, this time around we're living on base, so we have like the big American like feeling of space, but still living in Japan. So it's actually quite nice.
Yeah.
We're trying to be out here for like 7 years.
Oh
We're
man,
trying to max out. Yeah.
so we definitely gonna link up, man. Because again, we linked up.
Oh yeah.
We crossed paths last time. So again, this is like weird because we've known each other since that point that night.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was talking to,
it was fateful.
Yeah, it's crazy how that works, man. We'll definitely get into that, man. But I was talking, and it is a fateful event. Like we're actually more tied together than you actually know. And the reason why, and that's why I want to talk to Amy, and she said she's bad with her words. I was like, we're gonna get her on here, man. Cause
I can't wait for her to get on.
She needs this. I haven't had a woman on yet. And
I know I saw the text. Yeah. I don't want to get into it, but I was dying laughing.
Yeah,
I was like, really, damn.
And that's been a thing, man. I've contacted multiple women that I've known who are. It's not about being notable drifters or anything. They just, I don't know what it is. They just don't want to. They don't want to do it, man. So it's been all dudes.
It is intimidating, man.
You're
but
what can you say? Yeah, we're just talking naturally, man. But what I was saying though, man, is before we get into like your story and everything, man, the way we're tied together, you're probably thinking how it is, man. The way we're tied together for guys that are watching, back in 2001 is when I first seen my first drift video, and of course I got the bug. I was doing racing, drag racing before that. 2003, 2004 is when I got my first 240 from DC, $1,000 back in the day before the drift tax and everything. It's before 2003 when it really, really spiked. And Amy was, I was the forum, so it was Lookout Drift. There was Drift.
Drift 411.
Drift 411. She was on. We were on all the same forums, and
MA.
Yeah, yep. I kept saying this Captain Amy, and I thought it was a dude with a name Amy, right?
Mm-hmm. And misspelled and shit, like idiot.
So I was big game hit at the time, and I kept saying Captain Amy, Captain Amy, Captain Amy, right? Then I was like, who the fuck is this person? This was when Street Fire was like hot. YouTube wasn't a thing.
Oh yeah, Street Fire. Damn, like you're going back.
It was like E-Bomb was kind of out in
world. Yeah. We're so dated.
We're talking about a little bit. We're talking about DSL, DSL 56K type stuff, right? Yeah. Bear Share, Kazaa, Zama, and all that stuff right there. So I kept saying Captain Amy, and at this time I was like a poser. I was a poser drifter. People asked me, and I was like, "Yeah, I drift," but I really was just doing parking lots.
We all were. Yeah, I can hit the parking lot. One-turn killers.
And then I seen Amy, and then I seen again photos were coming up, image, Flickr, Bear, Image Shack, and all that stuff. So I seen her take the helmet off, like that's a fucking girl, man. And then and then she's killing it at that. She was killing it back then, in retrospect, right? So I'm like, dude, nah, dude, that killed that, right? Amy is the primary reason that I stopped telling people I drift, because I was like, I'm just doing J turns, that's not drifting. So she, believe it or not, she was the catalyst to stop me from being a poser, man.
Fronting. Like.
So that's crazy, dude. Like, this your wife and
dude, it was a crazy time. Yeah, like I'll tell you a funny story. There was
it was one of guys. There's no worse feeling than being on the track with a new car you just bought from somebody, and you go to mash on it and the clutch slips. I've been there before. You've probably been there yourself multiple times. And the best thing to do is get a new clutch on the car. Also, if you're competing, there's no doubt about it. You got to have a clutch. Pinku Style is a sponsor and a dealer of EDL clutch. EDL clutch is a clutch pretty much based in China, where most of all of them are. But this one right here is a really good company. I've dealt with them a good amount. I've had good success with the clutches on the track, and I'll be putting videos out for that stuff out there. So guys, go ahead and check out the website, pinkustylestore.com. Check out what I have available. RBs, JZSRs, KAB series engines, BMW, LS swaps, all that stuff like that. So it's a good clutch. I'm going to be running some deals on it pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. And check them out, EDL clutches on pinkustylestore.com.
There was a place in Northern Virginia by AOL, right? AOL still is a multi-million-dollar company, by the way, even now. Right. But back then, there was a street by AOL that it was wide. It was a single, depending on what you were taking it was a single left hand or right hand turn, and you could just like clutch kick into it and burn. Right. It's nice. Back then, that was when like rapper Dan had his Dragon Miata. You remember that thing?
Yep.
Yeah. And like, back then rapper, Amy was the first one to get like a 2-way differential, like in her car out of like the group. I had my Evo and it was like insane and, that kind of stuff. But there was like a video that Ian Anderson made. It was like on YouTube. They took it down because, like the music had on it. It was like October Shenanigans or something like that. And what was funny about that video is that there was like around the J turn, right? We had parked all the cars on one side and, rapper was doing his one turn and Amy was, doing her one turn. And like, they came in and they lined up the cars. And then the last car came in, did like a standing burnout, right? And then here comes another car, right? Like from the distance and we see it and it's like a cop undercover. And we're all standing there. I mean, just like parked illegal as fuck. Like smoke is still like, billowing out from the dude's tires and he parks it, right? And the guy's like, what are you guys doing? And like no one answers. And, I had just gone out in the military. So like, this is like 2005. And like I had problems with authority, let's just say that. Yeah. And cop was like, what are you guys doing? They're like, no one says anything. He's like, you guys racing? I was like, no. And he's like, well, what's that? And he points at like all the tire smoke and like no one says anything. And I say, it's foggy. Dude loses it. Like cop loses it. Flips on all the lights. It's like a party. Everyone's license and registrations right now. There's like 11 of us there. Yeah. One cop. You hear everyone go, oh man. We all like shuffle to our cars, get our shit, and come back. He gives us like a scolding and blah 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 blah. We all leave. He kicks us out of there. We go to like the Denny's, local Denny's. We all sit down in a big booth, couple booths, and like rapper turns to me and he goes, really, Carlos? It's foggy. It just came out like it's foggy. So like that's when like it's funny because like out of all the things for drifting, like I tell rapper I'm his number one fan, right? Like like a psycho. But it was crazy because like because of all my travel and things I did for work, I wasn't able to go to a lot of the events, but I sent Amy to like a lot of the events. We were there when like JR won his championship. I sent Amy to the Red Bull, event that they did in Long Beach, like back when everything was on fire, right? Yeah. I was in Honduras at that time, dude. Like it was crazy. Yeah. So it's kind of cool to see like everything going on in like the drift community, how it's like evolved. It's gone through some like ups and downs and like stages where I was just like, that's whack, Yeah. But yeah, man, it's been quite a journey to watch everything. Like, it's just been pretty crazy. Like I saw, it's funny when last time we were at Long Beach, I saw a little kid at Autobox watching drift videos at Irwindale and his dad. He's the two little boys and his dad, and freaking kid was like, JR was like ripping, and he was like, yeah, Vaughn Gittin, he's my favorite. And JR is like right behind him.
No shit.
Yeah. JR's like right behind him. This little kid's like going off, and the dad's like sees JR, and he's like, oh my God. He doesn't tell his son, right? Yeah. He's like, I forget the kid's name, and he asks him to turn around. JR is now like full on red, dude, like pinker than your shirt, dude. Like, and like I watched it and I'm like, man,
that's cool, dude.
Pro. Like, it was so cool. Yeah. So cool.
Yeah, but it was cool because you guys, like, we're like you guys, we were like like a lot of times, like, we get everybody drag racing and we'll get into your time attack and everything, because that's actually, a lot of people don't know I love time attack just as equally as drifting. This is a weird thing. But again, time attack, by the time you got into it, drifting or drag racing, by the time you experienced it or whatever, it was already going on for centuries before we were born, right? And we got I think Amy, yourself, myself, and those guys, Dan, which goes from a J turn to winning a Pro 2 championship. We all got in like right at the beginning, infancy in America. In Japan, it was already going on. So it's kind of cool to get into something like buying stocks and all that crap when it's pennies, and now it's Amazon. And it's kind of it's kind of cool. Amazon Prime. And it's one of those things where I think all of us, man, we don't there's some guys of us that do go out and like kind of like put down a young guy to try to be gatekeepers. But for like I say, yourself, myself, giving you the tirade, that was just I experienced the shitty drag racing community so much that I was like, man, the drift community at that time was really it was cool, and it still is like that. It's just, you know, you've been in Japan, so you know they got cliques over here. They got this team don't talk to that team.
It's like gang warfare out here, dog.
It's like 10 teams at the event. For the guys who don't know, listening and watching, you go to an event at Ebisu, you kind of drive in packs. And then I didn't like that because I didn't come in a pack. I was by myself. So then I would meet guys and just kind of migrate pack to pack. So it's pros and cons with everything, man. But before we get again too far, man, what got you into cars? Like what got you started? Because again, we never really talked about that at all.
A Fox body Mustang, two-tone, green and silver was my first love.
Yeah,
like that was the car that was like, whoa.
Yeah,
I heard it was cammed. It was high school dude had it back in my high school. I never got one because it's a piece of shit car. But like, you know?
Yeah, the Vanilla Ice.
Pretty much. Yeah. Like, and then, you know, Japan, dude. Like, I had gotten, you know, when I joined the army, like back in the day. I joined to travel, right?
Yep.
Like. And I went straight to Fort Bliss, like Texas, and Paso, and that was a rough life, right? Yep. And then I came down on orders, and they offered me Japan. I was like, yeah, sign me up.
Yeah.
And that's how I ended up here the first time. This is my 4th time living in Japan.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah, right. Like,
so you were like a Zama, I guess? Zama?
Yeah, I was a Zama.
Okay.
I was a Zama as a soldier. Yeah, Camp Zama as a soldier, which, by the way, is the best duty station in Japan, hands down. I feel sorry for you guys up there. Like,
it's Misawa has its snow aside. Misawa has a lot. Like, I mean, outside of like, I can literally just get in the car right now, and I have spots in the daytime, broad daylight. I wouldn't post it now, but I can go do a few slides or whatever, or test something out, and it's wide open, man. The space, yeah. So the spring like sorry, Misawa is mid-April, because right now it could still snow today. It's mid to late April to about November. It's like an awesome place, man. But
I bet.
Dude, like October to April, yeah, dude, it's just like you kind of you shut away your emotions, and you just kind of live for the next spring, because it is the land is cheaper and honestly it's a lot more safer for our cars up here, but you just give and take, and then it's scenery and all that good stuff. It's the boondocks. Yeah, so I'm trying to sell it to people, but yeah, it's definitely because Zama's Kanagawa or. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, so you're right. That is a good spot, man, because you're right, like in
all the shops are there here.
You're like equidistant from a lot of the happenings.
Tracks, the racetracks, Daiko. Like we hit Daiko in 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So
it is.
It's like, man, cars and coffee there. Like not to jump into that, but like, the car that got me in the car game was. The Fox body Mustang.
Gotcha.
And then the real first car, when I came back out of Japan, I was like, well, I got money, I want to buy a sports car. All the cars I wanted to buy, like for some reason were either out of my price range. I was looking at like 30 grand, which is like crazy. Right.
Yeah.
You're thinking about like, I'm going to spend 35 grand on a sports car. I don't know if I can find one for that price tag. And like, sure shit, I was sitting at the house watching TV, and then like I see a commercial for an Evo, right? And I'm like, oh, that's right. These are in the States now. Drove to the freaking dealership and got me an Evo 8, like white on black. It was sick. I cartwheeled that thing, man.
No shit.
6 times. Yeah, Toge. Yeah, that's why I'm like, no street racing.
Yeah, dude, it takes like one.
That's really how I got into time attack. Was I learned my lesson on that.
Yeah, it takes like the one, because it is, of course we crash track and everything time to time, man. And I did a street thing before, and then I got here in Japan, and I didn't. It was I wanted to see it, so I went out there one time, and I was like, nah, man, this is the sofa stuff, and for the guys again listening and watching everything who don't know, man, like you're here like on a visitor pass. So if you mess up, they don't play, man.
Yeah.
So
you can get the
yeah, and I was one toe away from getting kicked out, man. Like, and I was a contractor. This was after I was military, which means I have no blanket. I have no overtop, coverage. Yeah. So, yeah, man, I went out there. This is 6 years after the last time me going on the races and going out the drifting. And I was drifting like angry. It was about an event, a D1 Divisionals event. And at that time, I was starting to see with my own eyes how D1 was structured. And it really wasn't so much so about skills. It was
very political sponsorship. What do you bring?
Yeah,
me?
And when I seen dudes getting the
sounds like America.
It's you can't escape that. And the competition part, I didn't like it. Then I got into it. Then I got back out of it. Then I'm like getting into it again because promotion. That's it. If I win, great. I'm gonna do well now with the shop, and I got trucks and everything and better infrastructure. But
back doesn't hurt as much.
Yeah. And I'm not I'm not going to PT at 6, and I was up still 4. And I was doing that for 5 years, man, which is why when young guys come to my shop and they're like, oh, man, well, I got to do this. And I'm like, dude, I spent 3 years in Iraq. I never slept, so your excuse is bullshit.
Yeah.
So
I know, man. Yeah. I did Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yeah.
So, like.
What year Iraq?
Oh, I was part of the Great War, 2001.
Oh, you were the guys that put all the holes in the wall.
Yeah, like when Bagram had no concrete.
Yeah.
Like now there's a headquarters. I was at Army Cyber. Yeah, I was at Army Cyber, and like this warrant officer came. They had like this crazy badge and it said Bagram, and I was like, the fuck is that? Yeah. And I was like, Chief, blah blah blah. What is that? She was like, Bagram, baby, and I was like, Bagram what?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, the headquarters building.
Yeah.
There's like what?
Yeah.
Like I was like, okay.
Yeah, you guys were the bear base guys that went in there. Were like, there was a few of y'all set everything up. No water buffaloes, no fuel, like all that shit, man.
Great. That's how I learned. I learned how to do drive-bys there. Straight up, like. I learned all sorts of stuff over there.
Yeah, man.
Like
it's definitely an experience. And again, you being there, I spent 3 years there, 07 to 11, which was like it was OIF,
OIF and then
OEF. Yeah, so it transferred. I was there when it transferred when they did the passing over to OE. I was there for that, and it was like they kind of took our balls, man. They took our balls away, and they were like, well, now they can integrate in your convoy. I'm like, what? I'm like, they can fucking ride in our convoy? Nah. So we never.
Yeah. Helicopters only.
We knew the rules, but the L guys were like, dude, I'll fucking explain why I don't want that car in my convoy. And we never let them in. And they knew, man. It's like they knew the rules, SOPs, before everybody else knew. I'm like, nah, dude, you guys are not fucking riding our convoys with the Capricious was big in Kuwait and Iraq. And everything.
Yeah.
So
it's like, right? Like out of all the cars.
Yeah. It's like I'm back in Baltimore, dude.
Like, I did, bro. Like,
yeah. So so what was your again, I didn't know, like I was gonna ask you, man, your transition to Japan. So what was your MOS?
Yeah, so so it's funny because like all of, like Rapper and all them, like, Dan Savage and all our like friends in Virginia, they don't really know what I do. Like they knew I was like in the military and like, like, so, I was a 25 Bravo, like 74 Bravo computer information system. Gotcha. So like, but back then,
very
like,
critical.
If you had like any brain, it was, man, my time in the military was just like bananas. Cause like, back then, the Army didn't think that like special forces were smart enough to do computers, which is
right,
crazy, right? Yeah. And so they would throw like a chode like me up in there, and it'd be like, "You carry the computers, and we'll shoot people in the face." And I'm like, fine, like whatever. So I got thrusted into like all these crazy, situations, I would say. Because I knew how to do computers and, I had like a, maxed out PT score and whatnot. So like, I would get attached to these teams and things like that. So like my military career was like, whoo, like real crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of the 6 years I did, I was deployed 5.
Yep. Yeah.
So like it was, yeah, like I just remember coming out like, and this is before like PTSD was like it was a thing, but like VA sucked.
Yeah,
so like dude, when I came out of Iraq and Afghanistan, you could not control me. Oh my God.
Bro.
Like my sergeant major almost like she wanted to boot me out. Like it was crazy. I was like, well, I'm getting out anyways. I'm out. Like, you know?
Yeah, dude, just like, no, I mean, just stating that right there kind of like, I just got a rush of like kind of angry emotions, man, because you saying that, man, it's I definitely have some stuff going on, man. I control it, but that's why I work alone in my shop. You see, like I got an assistant, but he's in and out, and people are like, dude, I just can't. I don't like people around me because it's like, number one, complaining about bullshit really irritates me, man. And it's something that again, I spent 3 years there. You spent 5 years there. I know the smells. I know the feeling when you wake up. I know when you shower and you're still sweating, all that stuff, right? and it's like, and then it's
you
like
Okinawa made it like,
oh yeah.
Oh my God,
it brings back
like. But the great thing is that now that you're out, it's like,
oh yeah,
I'm gonna take a lunch break and take a shower because I can do that.
For me, man, one of the weirdest things is like I still to this day I wake up like, oh, I don't gotta go to PT today. I mean, that's like something that's like I mean, PT is just the fact of Air Force, man. I was Air Force, but my mentality was Marines. So I did very well in the Air Force as a result. And the PT was a fucking joke, man.
Because you flexed on everyone.
Yeah. So it's like, I'll be honest, man. The distance running was not my forte. Max up sit-ups, push-ups, and everything. I would run enough to pass, but I'm a sprinter, and I sprinted. I played lacrosse, football, wrestling, and that's just the way my body was trained. And I could sprint all day, but the distance running, it was just not. It's not my thing, man. It just wasn't. It wasn't my thing, man.
I'm with you. They, talking about the Air Force. When we got to Okinawa, we got in with the Gaijin Smash guys.
Yeah.
And
I definitely got to help some of those guys, man. Get them.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
I get a mic on, man.
I was telling Devin. Oh man, Dagama. Dude.
Ooh. That dude look like. I was like, fuck is that, George Michaels? When I first seen Mike, I got
so much.
Dirt, I know, dude. When I see
Okinawa was like a cesspool for drinking. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, where was I going with that? Oh yeah, so like the Gaijin Smash guys, like when I was back here. When we were mainland in 2009, the Gaijin Smash guys at Yokota were like getting real big. Dwayne, Chris Conley, Gama, Linkets. They were just like running amok at Yokota. And so like if you're a car dude in Yokota and you want to know why they're so mean about all the car mods and like why they're so strict.
Those guys?
Lame Gaijin Smash, dog. Like straight up.
coming through the gate with his shit all busted up.
Here, Joey, he went to Yokota and he has a 100 chaser. It's like sick, 500 horsepower, Borg Warner, with the T51 Armada. It's a nice little setup. And he rolled into Yokota and he's a warrant officer, right? And like the gate guards were like, "Oh, we can give you a ticket for this." And he's like, "You let me go in the gate." And he tells me this stuff, and he's like, "Man, the Zama gate guards, when they see me roll in, they're like, yeah, bro, that's sick. Yeah, my God." And then like he tells me this stuff. I was like, "Oh, they're still doing that?" And he was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, the Gaijin Smash guys, man. Like they really fucked it up."
I've heard some of the stories, man. Guys coming back to the gate with a bumper strapped to the hood, and
and it's all them. It was all them.
Yeah,
it was all the Gaijin Smash guys. And like I was telling Devin, he's now back in Arizona with Gaijin Smash Garage, right? Man, he can weld his face off, that guy. And I was telling him, I was like, dude, they're still like super strict on Yokota.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's like you're Army, man, and like all those. No, this end is the front, and all those stupid little things written on things like "open here," "don't step here," "this is not a step." All that shit is because somebody fucking fired a bazooka backwards, or RPG, but a bazooka. You fire that shit backwards, like this is the front end. This don't step on this because this ISU 90 is gonna collapse on your leg and break your ankle and shit. So it's like all the rules, man, and all the stuff, and also like you guys had left, and I think you. I don't think you were here when Ebisu had his big crackdown on missiles. Were you here or not for that?
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. So,
because
the Aussies, the Australians,
yeah.
man, we did a trip to Ebisu and we were driving and we're staying at the tatami room.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
Dude. Yeah. That was
right.
that was where it started. Yeah, there.
Dude, the tatami room. People didn't know. Like
yeah.
when one of the guys. I didn't know that you could stay at the tatami room, and we're getting like shit faced over there. And the Aussie guys they drink like it's water.
Oh, yeah.
And there was this one cat.
It was probably Stewie, Anton, Christian Pickering, all those dudes, man. We definitely met the same guys. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember every time I would pass him on the track, he would throw up a chew high, and it'd be like a different can.
What kind? And, you remember what car he was driving?
Oh, it was like a 90. I can't remember. It was definitely a Toyota.
So that's probably Jay Ducker, Alex, like I forgot his name. All those guys.
Alex, that's what it was. Alex. It wasn't Andrew. Alex.
Yeah.
And he used to wear this little pink bunny outfit with a little
Alex,
dick in it. Oh my god, dude!
I gotta make a note to put that in there.
Dude, we showed him a video
of
him coming up on North Course. And like, and he initiates before the tree line on the main straight, and he's already like pillowing out smoke. I mean, like just like, it's at least 30 feet above him, and he does this like sick ass entry, right? Connects the whole course, and then we show him the video later that night, and he's like, "Dude, I don't remember doing that at all." And I was like, "How fucked up are you?"
Yeah,
bro?
dude.
Like, he was like shit faced the whole day.
That matsuri is one that guys when it was like that it was like matsuri is matsuri, right? But there was there was like 2009.
People don't know.
It was like 09 to like and that's why I did 7 or 8. I can't really recall, but it was like 09 to like, well, obviously 08 to about 2013 was like that. It was like fireworks. We were doing Roman candles.
It was like the heyday. Just like madness. Like, oh my god.
And then again, I bring this up again, man. What happened? Of course, as time goes, as further we get closer to now, social media started popping in, and that's where it started to. It turned from a fun environment to a competing environment. You guys are coming to G1 GP to get, of course, rest in peace.
G1, we were there at the first one.
Yeah,
that's
I was there
crazy.
too.
Yeah,
I was asleep. I would missed it because that first. I was at school course, and they was like, there's gonna be some guys. You think I was like, all right, whatever. I live here, right? And it was Pickering and all those guys were there, and Stewie and Chris DeJager, rest in peace, and all those guys were there, right? And that was back when school course had back before the earthquake, when school course had the little rooms and everything. You remember how school course used to look?
Yeah.
And so I was there for the very first G1 GP, but slept through it. Like no shit, it was there, man. So
if you look at the videos, like we're in the crowd, back there. Hanging out, like what else was pretty crazy? While we were there, when Chris Forsberg won his first championship, he did a pilgrimage to Ebisu.
Yep.
And I was watching him watch Robbie and like Daigo bomb the straight on Higashi.
Yeah.
Or not Higashi, Nishi.
Yeah.
Dude. Like. He was like right next to me on the wall,
dude.
And like I knew who he was, but he was this Taliban fuck like next to me, right? Like, but he, like I was watching, I was like, damn, that's Chris, like, and he was just
entry to that wall. That wall when you stand on that,
it's so banana.
When you stand on that wall, for the guys who don't know, you go to Nishi. Nishi Short is my very favorite course because the train. It's just that, and it's only open.
You can't see now. It's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much. Yeah. It's too scary. Like this is like it's man.
Yeah.
Like, there's too much smoke. There's like 80 cars, and like and plus the Aussies, they don't give a fuck.
And it's not a place for beginners.
I can't see. Oh well. Like,
well, the reason I like it is because that's the only track where nobody gives a fuck who's next, front and back. Because I've had Daigo on the back of me. I've been behind Daigo, and it's like, and Daigo, the way he gets down, he'll go from his beat up 90 to his competition car.
That 90. Can we talk about that 90?
Yeah.
Like that 90, I saw him I had told Rapper this story, and I think it was his birthday. Yeah, or no, it was his
Yeah,
bachelorette
he just got
or
married. Yeah,
bachelorette,
yeah.
his bachelor party
Right.
we did at Summit, and I
Oh,
told,
Dan.
yeah, Dan, sorry, and I told Dan that, hey, we're gonna do a couple drift games, and one of them, we're gonna do the hard parking, right?
Right.
And one of them, I told him, I was like, I had seen Daigo at Nishi. He was bombing the straight, like, connecting the whole, crushing the whole course, right? Because, he's like crazy.
Right.
And he gets out of his 90 and he's wearing Tim's
Oh yeah,
unlaced.
yeah.
And I was like,
yeah,
that's the most gangster thing I've ever seen anyone do. And it didn't matter. And his girl gets out and he's just like, I mean, full on, like the laces are like, the tongue's hanging out, like, and I'm like, yo, those are straight up Tim's, son. And like, I told Rapper, I'm like, Rapper, you may be a Pro 2 champion, but in my eyes, you ain't shit until you can drift with Tim's with very little laces, right? So like, we did a drift game where with him, like wearing, I got him a set of Tim's in his size. And I was like, you're gonna wear these, right? And he was like, are you serious? I was like, swear to God, yeah, man. And like, in my mind, I was still like, dude, that's like his 90 with that big turbo, right? He had like a T88 on it, and it was just, I just couldn't believe it. I was like, that's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. That's a pro driver, right there. Like, Tim's.
Yeah,
I go with Tim's on, son. Like, not race shoes, not my bridge motos, no.
Yeah,
like
man.
straight up Tim's, man.
We got
like,
a lot of guys rock because I'm one of them. Like, the Crocs, man. I'll just get out of the thing and it's like the Crocs is Croc drifting, and you look at you look at Nakamura, like he rocks predominantly. Yep, exactly. Exactly.
I use them as indoor shoes, man. Like I converted since I came here to Japan.
Yeah,
like,
man. I got a set. Croc. Like I got a set of Crocs always, like, within 10 feet of me, man. But they're too cheap. They're comfortable, and you slide it. Then being in Japan, the protocol is like you take off your shoes, and so that's one thing I noticed in Jet, and that's why Daigo probably had the loose boots, because they're so used to just jumping out of whatever they're wearing to take off their shoes. I do hate, and it's a pet peeve of mine, watching Japanese people walk, though, man. Dude,
you live in Japan.
Yeah, like. But no, you're talking about when they drag their
they drag their feet, and you can see like the angle on the heel.
I mean,
like,
again, man, you're military for sure. I did 6 years and 4 months. I got out. I was same thing when you came back. We'll talk about it a little bit, but I still maintain, like, a certain type of upkeep. Like I just always check my pants. Yeah.
like
just walking normal and, like, not striking your heel and stuff like that. And it's like my sons, man, I'm like, dude, pick up your feet, because I was my family, like, I would get hit in the back of the head, or
I was about to say bib,
or kick or my uncle would kick my foot while I'm walking. He would kick my foot and almost fall. Yeah. But it's just like, I've been here so long, I got used to that, fax machines and everything else, man.
Watching them walk.
Yeah. It's just, you'll hear that.
That'll go over like a brick. I tell you what, like,
yeah, man.
Yeah, like people just, it's funny because, like, when we moved down to Georgia, right, from Virginia, right, we're living in Augusta, and like, we got in with the Top Garage Cats, and Chris Ward, I had told him first time I met him, I was like, yo, dog, you got to go to Ebes. Right, he never lets it down, because he would say it now. He's like, yo, dog, Ebes, right? And he'll send me texts and things like that, and like on social media, he'll like drop that shit on the like Amy's thing, right? And he's like, yo, dog, Ebes, like, and like I tell him, I was like, dude, you just don't know how it is, like, out here, like when you actually live out here, the roads and the streets and like just the mannerisms, is so different from the States. And I had told Amy, I was like, hey, now is a great time to leave the States. Yeah. Right? Like, because it's a shit show over there.
Yeah, man. So, like, speaking on that, man, because we talked a bunch about Amy, man. When did you guys meet the first time, man? And where?
So I had a starter wife, right? Like, you know, for all the military cats, gotta get that money, man.
Yeah.
So that starter wife game. Best man at my wedding, Jay, he recommended me that wait to get a divorce until after you get out of the military, because then like UCMJ can't lock it in for you.
Right.
You know, like the freebie. I don't even know what they call it. Anyways, he so I waited and I got divorced after I got out, and I was at a car meet and I saw Amy with her jabroni boyfriend at the time of like 8 years, and I was like, who the fuck is that? Right, we're at the mega meet in Woodbridge.
Oh shit. Yeah. Oh yeah. What year?
Oh, this is like 2005, 2006.
Bro,
like
2000. If it was 2005, I was there, man, because Dido was there, Dustin was there.
Yeah.
So that's fucking crazy, dude. We were there.
And like, huge. Dude, the supers would be outrunning the cops on I-95. It was bananas. People don't know, like,
that's crazy.
That was a crazy time, right? And
we were fucking too closely connected, man.
And we did a bunch of stuff, and we rolled up there and saw her with her boyfriend, and I asked my buddy, I was like, yo, who's that? And he was like, oh, that's Amy, blah blah blah. And I was like, So I got to know her, you know. And you know, I befriended her boyfriend at the time.
Oh man,
broke them up. Yeah, I did that.
Secret operation, man.
Oh, it was bad. Like psyops, he had no chance. Yeah, like I'll tell you. And I was like, yeah, Kyle, if you're listening.
Dude, that's it's like, yeah.
It was bad. And but you know, hindsight 2020, you know.
Hey man, survival of the fittest, man.
Yeah, Carlos gets what he wants. Yeah. So, you know, I did that, and I had to tell her like a couple weeks in, you know, because it was hard, like keeping that, you know, that a secret that I had befriended her boyfriend to like get at her and like break them up. And, you know, I'd done all this stuff, and, you know, I told her, and she was like, hey, I got something to tell you. And she was like, what, you cheating on me? And I was like, whoa, you know, hold on, no. But, you know, I kind of did this, you know, to get at you, and I had to give her like specific examples, and she didn't believe me. And then I got more specific, and then I was like, when he did this and you did that, that was me, right? And then he did this and you did that, and that was me too. And then she was like, oh yeah, and we clicked. Like, didn't talk to me for like 2 weeks, and then the rest was you know, it was funny because like when I went to Honduras, right, and I did a stint with like the DEA and whatnot. Like I said, my background's pretty crazy.
Yeah, all over the place, man.
Yeah, I've worked for pretty much every major.
It's like, hey man, you can start the computer up. You can put RAM in. All right, cool. Come with us, man.
Yeah. Like, yeah. You know, like when I came back, I had told her, I was like, hey, I got like a skill set that can take us anywhere. You know, you want to travel the world or whatnot. She was like, yeah, you know, I'd like to go to Japan. I was like, all right, you know, cool. You know, so like, I want to say like 60 days later, I landed a job. The first job here as a contractor. I was like, hey, so you know, I came home that day.
That part was a win right there. So
like we're engaged at this point, right?
Yeah.
And I tell her, I said, hey, you know, I was working at the National Reconnaissance Office. So people that don't know, that's another 3-letter agency. Right? And I was at the NRO, and I came back home, and I was like, hey, so I got a job in Japan. And she was like, oh, really? Like, you know, where? I was like, oh, it's in Camp Zama, blah, blah, blah. I was like, you know, we leave. Or no, I was like, you know, but there's a catch, like, for you to go, kind of have to get married. And we leave in 3 weeks. So she was like, what? Yeah. And so that's how I trapped Amy into marrying me. I gave her a 3-year honeymoon in Japan.
Yeah, man. Hey, man. Hey, it works out that way, man. And like that's, you know, I can kind of making connections, man. Again, because it's like, again, we've known of each other for a long time, man. But it's like, again, the Woodbridge meet, the forums, Amy, and everything. So the way, again, another way we're kind of connected is my wife that I've been married to for 5 years now. And the way we met, she drives Evo 7. So I met her. I seen so she was married. She was getting engaged to a Navy guy. This Navy guy luckily cheated on her, and I seen her. She was driving a minivan about a week, I'll say about 3 weeks or 4 weeks prior to when I first seen her, and she crashed the minivan. So she always wanted the Evo. She got the Evo, and I seen her again. I was like, "Who's that girl?" With the Evo. And I was talking to my next door neighbor. She's like, "Oh, she has a boyfriend." I was like, "All right, Kurt, whatever." And then like about 2 weeks later, the dude, in that 2 or 3 weeks, the dude cheated on her, and he was Navy, and he was also wasn't in the States. He was gone. So they were doing a long distance shit, which doesn't work.
Yeah, that works. Yeah.
So anyway, she hit me up online. I got a random line message back when line first came out. She's like, "Hey, my friend is no boyfriend no more. Broken English." I was like, "All right, cool. Send her over." And
is that just how she,
pretty much?
Like,
Yeah,
come on in.
We were next door
service.
So we had a date. We had a date the next day. Whatever happened on the first date happened, and
send her over.
And yeah, man. We got about close to a year in, and I got her pregnant. And
pull out game week.
Yeah, man. But it was like it was good because she wasn't needy, and I had a girlfriend like that before that was like, if I call before I can say, "Hey, I'm on the way," I'm like, "Dude, like you don't have a life." So she was doing snowboarding. She was, and I kind of
you don't have a life,
right? I mean, I'll be like, "Hey, what are you?" I'm on the way. I'm like, "Dude, relax, dude. I'm just asking what's up."
Shit.
And so we jive right away, and we got married, within a year or a little after a year. So it wasn't it was just right, man, and it worked. And she's my wife, man. Without my wife, I mean, I'm hardworking employer, all that top notch, hard charging bullshit.
Yeah.
But without my wife, dude, this would not exist. Like
Amy controls everything. It's great. I love it. I haven't looked at my bank account in years. Years. You have no idea. Since we started dating, I was like, "Oh, you're good with money? Fantastic. I don't want to look at that shit ever again. Like, just take my money."
It's an awesome thing, man. It's an awesome thing.
And meanwhile, she's like, "Bastard," because I just spend the money. I get my little allowance, right? But like, she's like my life coach, my accountant.
Yeah,
freaking, she does everything.
So PSA out there, guys, man, choose wisely, man, because if you don't,
independent woman, smart woman,
and you mentioned a starter wife when you got to go into whatever that was, what happened to broke that down. But I know a lot of guys who've had 2 starter wives, and they just kind of pick based on
learn.
Yeah, and it's certain traits, man. In that first dating, that first 3 weeks is not just banging, man. That's fun, but you gotta really get into their psyche and see what they're about, because if you pick the right mate can fucking send you to the moon, and the wrong one can have you, bad stuff, man. We've all heard the stories of guys coming home from deployments, and I guarantee you, man, if I ever came, I'm just speaking on what I went through in Iraq, and I'm sending money home.
Oh, I would have killed,
bro, without a doubt. Like, if I walked into that situation, so when people say that, I'm like, bro, trust me. You spend 12, 11, 13 months in Iraq. You sending money home to somebody, and you come home.
Waiting.
That's a whole different. Well, I don't want to send it down that way, man. But anyway. Man, it's crazy how the Woodbridge Mega Meet. When I got there, dude, I had my 240, which was not meat material, so I parked. There was like the train station. I parked. We couldn't. It was all the cars lined up, and then there was like a Best Buy or something. There was a Best Buy or a big parking lot when everybody,
like an upper parking lot, like the overflow for the peasants.
Yeah,
if you didn't make it inside.
Exactly. So all the peasant cars are there because all the hot boy cars are Dustin and all those guys are already inside.
I have my Evo in the big lot.
Oh boy. And you probably were there with a guy I forgot the team. They were in the Rockville, the Evo team. The guy was always in the magazines. Korean cat. He was a white Evo. It's in my DVD. He was a white Evo. He had an American name, so he was Korean.
Was it Team Emotion?
Yeah, Team Emotion. Yep, Team Emotion.
Yeah. Oh, so listen to this.
Connections.
So I get with Amy, right? I started dating Amy. Her brother was in Team Emotion. Her older brother was in Team Emotion. He had a sick turbo EG hatch. and like I'm like, oh no way. And back then, like, man, talk about that Evo. Like I learned everything not to do in a car build. Probably still do a lot of the dumb stuff on all my car builds. Like if you ask Chris, he's like Chris Ward, he's like he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, right. He's like I'm like, I want twin, charged, supercharged and turbo with like a big NA can. Like, I want to do all this crazy stuff, right? And but like, dude, I put like, I don't know, easy like 180 grand into my Evo, like, and ended up selling it for like $22,000 in the end. But like I remember because I had gotten like the Varus like Super Tycoon kit for the Evo 8, like 13-piece kit, just sick. I love that car. Yeah. Like still to this day, I still have some pictures from it back in the day, but like. That was the litmus test for her brother. Like I was successful at a hot boy car, I made money, right? Like I just remember Amy introducing me to her mom and she saying, I have a new boyfriend and he's Puerto Rican, like not Korean. Yeah. Like I was like, why you gotta introduce him like that? Like what? She's like, what she needs to know. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, but like, yeah, Team Motion, like, so like when I had the Evo, I would ask his brother like, yo, can I get a photo shoot with like, import tuner? He's like, yeah, I'll call the photo guy. Like, so I'll be like, wow, my God. Like, you serious? Like, so, yeah, he was in Emotion. So like Harry, he still runs Emotion, that team. They're still doing it.
I remember, like, I can't remember the Evo. His name was like Dan or Mike. It was an American name. It was like, I forgot, but the Team Emotion story, man, that EG guy I met. I've been in the vicinity with him. I think I haven't met him personally, but that there was a meeting where we met at Rockville, of course, and that's where they were kind of based out. And they was like, let's go on the Toge back, and this is way before we even know what Toge was. So that night, man, one of my guy Lewis, who I definitely want to get on the podcast. It was a cool night, car meets, and we were like, I think it was Dan. It was an American name, but he was obviously Korean. But we were hanging. Yeah. And this was before social media. So he was just like, everybody's like, oh, the white Evo pulling with the white Evo Emotion on the side.
Adman TC2s.
Yeah. And everybody would like stop.
I bought those TC2s off of him because like he went to gun them. Off and like he like didn't have it on there right, and it like messed up the aluminum.
Yeah, they had money. Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, I'll take those. Like, oh, you can't use.
Yeah, dude.
I'll take. Yeah. Half price for TC2s in the States. Done.
Sure. Like they were top of the crop, man. I'm not sure, like, where he's at now. But anyway, we met at Rockville. We chilled there for about an hour or two, and I of course had the Buster 240 or whatever. And drifting was kicking off, so I got cool points for having the battered car at that time. Mm-hmm. And so we went out. Sure. And that night, man, we wrecked my guy's we wrecked it. His EG Civic. It was really nice. B16. B16. It was B16 swap, and he crashed into a mailbox, a concrete mailbox, and wrecked it. And we were about maybe, it was a College Park guy, so we were about maybe 30 minutes from College Park, and I stayed there with him until like 2 a.m, man, until the truck came. Yeah. And I was like, man, it's a night full of fun, and he loved that car, man. That was college kids, so you don't have a ton of money. And that was, and it was. I think it was.
If you do got money, you still worry about it.
Yeah. So we wrecked that, and then on the way back from Lewis wrecking his car, I got pulled over, and I had a bench warrant for a ticket. She let me go because
Doug.
Yeah, it was a ticket that like a 2-point ticket. I didn't pay, and she pulled me over. She was like, "Everything is cool. I was gonna let you guys go, but you got a bench warrant." So she let me go. She was like, "Go to the fucking courthouse." Because if you get pulled over again, I'm not, next cop can take the car, right? Yeah. So she let me go. She was a pretty cop too, I remember. And
I bet.
Yeah, dude. So, but the reason she let me go is because we had Lewis's wrecked Civic, and he was sulking, nearly crying, in my passenger seat. So she come up to Lewis' side, and he's like, he didn't talk because he was just distraught about his car, man. And it's like one of those things now where like I remember when I first blew my first engine, I no shit almost cried, man, because I was like, man, I don't have money to get another engine, and 2 weeks later I had another KA. It was like,
yeah.
So it's like, yeah. So I thought my fucking life was over, man.
Work.
Yeah. So it was, but yeah, man, this dude is crazy.
I got 13 tickets and 1 pullover in Virginia.
God, oh, they don't
like. Amy was like
track by helicopter, whatever it said, aircraft.
It was so bad. Yeah. Monitored speed is monitored by aircraft.
What the fuck's that even mean?
Real thing. Yeah. It's a real thing. So, people don't know. So they fucking send the Black Hawk over, like, and it fucking tracks your speed, and then they send the fucking Popo after you. And at this moment in time, I had like my Evo was like pushing, I don't know, probably like around 800, 900 on like low boost, and I had full slicks. I mean, I was slanging rocks. I was just trying to get it home from the shop to my house, but it was like an hour drive.
Yeah,
I was going down 95, and freaking cop pulled me over, and he was like, yeah. Like,
yeah.
Nope. And he came back with like a stack, and like, he was like, these are all yours. And I was like, what the fuck is this? This is like exhaust, because like, if you have a canister exhaust in Virginia, forget it. Like, right. So it was like exhaust, illegal tires. Like, he made me pop the hood. They brought out the measuring tape, the decibel. Like he did the whole works on me, and I was like 13 tickets. And I remember, I got interviewed for a special job, and they were like, so we see in your you have 22 moving violations. Would you like to explain? I was like, I have, like all this backtracking on. Well, it was just, I was taking home a race car, and I couldn't afford a trailer, even though I had a race car. It was just dumb, man. Like, but like, yeah, I had to talk about it a couple times.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That, unfortunately, man, it's like you can't. When it comes to those type of jobs, and again, I had a secret clearance and everything, and the questions they asked, I never had to get reevaluated, luckily. So I did, it's what 10 years is good for, or something like that. So I went from the military into contracting. I work with F-16s, GPS systems, as my last job before starting the shop. And it's like, it's one of those things too, man, where luckily you didn't have social media back then, because they would dig into all that crap.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
There's, dude, like, I can't imagine. I spent 4 days in Roppongi without seeing daylight.
Yeah.
And if any of that made it into social media, there's no way. No, not today's day and age. And people ask me, they're like, 4 days without seeing daylight. Like, yeah, it was a great time.
Yeah.
Like, it was, that was before like people were drugging you in Roppongi and whatnot. So it was just like popping, like, but like, going back to, that social media piece, like that, today's day and age, like, I don't have social media, right? Mainly because of work. I don't want to have to explain myself.
Yeah.
And it's just too easy to get caught up in something dumb. Because I'm already, I'm 60%, disabled. 10% is for hearing. The other 50 is because it's, it's broken up there, right? So it's like, I don't need an enabler.
Yeah.
You know what
it's
I'm saying?
True, man. Like, it's true, man. Because I'm 80. I'm 80, and I got out 2012, and I had guys, not in my crew. I had guys get, burnt, pretty much 3rd-degree burns. I wasn't a couple years prior, guys get their legs blown off, and after the IEDs and everything, I got my truck got hit, but we had level 3 armor at that time, so it was like I just got hit. It was at that point the QRF and all those guys were so good that the guys didn't get a chance to set up big EFPs and shit like that anymore. Yeah. So those days were gone. Luckily, it was just small arms fire and pepper bombs and everything. So anyway, man, but even though they were small bombs and we had the gear, and I'm not afraid of the task I'm doing, it's just like that shit really. It's when you came back, and when I came back that last time, I went from like being like kind of a yes man and I do all my job to like, man, I'm not fucking doing this spreadsheet. And I don't care about this PT session. And I started that last deployment really kind of, it
set you off, man.
Two deployments ago, I was going to be the chief master sergeant of the Air Force and shit. And I drove with all those guys, drove with generals, and the way I got here was by a 4-star general giving me orders to Japan, and all that stuff. I had connections, man, but it was like I'm like, bro, I'm doing this drifting thing.
You get exhausted.
Yeah. 6 years. Yeah. My 6 years felt like 15, and it was.
Yeah, it's I tell people it's like being in the military during that time, like during combat operations, right? It's the abnormal wear on the body with the spicy depression. For me, it took me 15 years to actually go to VA.
Yeah,
like I didn't do it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I got to Army Cyber where I had my cubicle mate next to me was a ex-SF Sergeant Major, and he was like,
"You gotta go."
He was young. He was like, "Yo, you gotta go."
Yeah.
Like I'm busted as fuck, and so are you, dude. Like you need to go. Yeah. And he pushed me toward it, and he was like, "It's your money." I was like, think about all the things you could do.
Yeah, same thing.
It's funny because as soon as I got the money, the first check, Amy looks at it, right, being the accountant that she is, right? She's like, you could have $450,000 time out. And I was like,
yeah. So they changed it. They changed the system because when I got out 2012, and I was told by the guy, same thing I had to see. The guy was his E8, and he was like, hey man. He was like, "You've been stupid, man. That's your money. You put in the time. You definitely put in the time with the deployments. Go get it and everything." So I was like, "All right, cool." He scrubbed my my records, and pretty much, man, I got 80% I got 80% without even acting, dude. I went in there. I shook the guy's hand. I was like, no double questions. I'm not going to lie about anything. I want to get this shit done because I had to go from Misawa to Shibuya and Yokosuka to do mine. Mm-hmm. So the
between the three,
because they had to go, and then also so they changed it. He was saying, "Hey man, you're gonna get back paid to 2012." They give you a year to submit that shit, and then it starts over. So they giving away money. So I told my wife, "Oh shit, we about to get 68K," and she was like, had shit in her mind she wanted to buy. Mm-hmm. And then I was like,
I'm getting a brand new bathroom.
Yeah. I was like, Governor Sai is only gonna be like 12K. So I got I got like 12K back pay, and then when they added the kids, and I got one daughter right now, which right when Trump was getting out, the first two, everything went through, bam, 6 months from application submission to my test to my paycheck was 7 months.
Yeah,
done.
I tell people like, hey, if you got out and you did anything in the military, now you have to do it. Yeah. It's part of your out processing, right? But like every military dude I see, like I ran into a Marine, right? His name is Izzy. He's a Fairfax County cop, and I like, I would play video games with him. Like I'm a big like Destiny fan, like, and I'd be playing Destiny with him, and I'm like, hey man, like you need to go, and he's like, no, fuck that.
Yeah.
Ain't no pussy, right? He's like,
no.
Oh man, like for real. So I finally he actually reached out to some of his like Marine buddies, and they were like, oh yeah, we've been having it for years. He was like, I'm fucking serious.
Yeah,
I'm out here taking grenades in the trenches, and you guys are sitting in the shade with my guys. Like, so like he went and got it, and he was like, bro, he stopped being a Fairfax County cop.
Yeah,
he now like just lives. He got 90%, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so now his wife is also a Fairfax County cop, right?
Okay.
She's a K-9 unit. So he gets to like literally he was like, I built a new deck.
Yeah, bro.
Like all the video games now,
bro.
Carlos. He's like, I ain't doing shit. It's great.
Yeah. It's if they play their cards right, especially the guys who got the retirement thing is a little bit because their VA stuff is not taxed. Retirement stuff, whatever they do. Plus, if we got child support stuff and blah 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 and all that stuff like that. So, I was like, fuck, dude, this was like, and I'm not gonna say the exact amount, but this was like money from 2012 to now. That's money I wasn't getting, man.
Yeah, now it's like, oh, things are just easier. It makes things easier.
Yeah, I mean,
right? You don't have to stress about things. And now, like people getting out, I tell them like, you guys got the forever GI Bill. So like for me, because I do IT, and I was doing cyber before cyber was a thing, right? Like I couldn't go to school. Oh, this is actually a funny story.
Join the Space Force, man.
Yeah, they try to recruit me. Like, I get a lot of recruitment. Yeah. Amy's like, so like in 20 years, I've had about 44 jobs.
Yeah.
IT jobs, like for major corporations, and which is like pretty bananas, right? And it's kind of like one of the things of, that skill set that I have is it allows me to do that. So kind of going back to when I got out of the military, I took jobs just to be like, bink, I'm out. Like, I'm not doing this. I'm taking this job just to quit it with zero notice because I can.
Yeah.
That's how that's how it was
Yeah.
running up there
Yeah.
after I got out, right? Like, and I did that like for a good minute, and but I mean that that skill set just is just crazy. But I tell people, hey, getting out, if I had the forever GI Bill, like I'd just go to school. And like, it's funny because there was a guy getting out and he's an E6 and he's single. This is at Zama, like more recently. And I told him, I was like, you got a degree? And he's like, no. I was like, go pick some major school, like bomb school, like UCLA, something dumb, right? Go there and live in the dorms and run the dorms like a boss. Man, you're gonna use your PAH. I was like, could you imagine that? Could you imagine what it would be like with all the knowledge, from like the barracks? And be like, I'm holding court. Like, and I tell him like,
you got the goddamn sorority guys or not?
Fraternity
guys. Like,
I tell him, I was like, you would kill it. Yeah. And he looked at me. He was like,
what's that? Van Helsing.
Yeah, something like that.
The dude, Ben Wilder. Ben Wilder.
Yeah, he was like, damn, that's a great idea. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, dude, BAH, and you get your school paid for, and you're holding court. I was like, you run circles around these cats. Because, before I joined the military, I was in military school, right? Because I was a bad boy. And I went to military school for high school. And, it gave me this, like, swagger when I got to, like, basic. Because I knew how to shine my boots. I knew, like, military decorum, all that shit. So, like, the drill sergeants hated me. Like, they hated me. And but like, that same mentality, I tell them, I was like, yo, if you're getting out and you're not trying to go to school full time, like fuck getting a job. Like, fuck that. Like, just go to school full time, decompress, get your shit right. Like, because you may find out that, a lot of people, luckily for me, like, I got my skill set like transferred well, right? And allowed me to do a bunch of crazy stuff. And I like doing, that crazy stuff. But like for other people, I tell them like, you got issued your job in the military and that's all right now. Right. And it may be, you going to school, you finding out that you find your true calling. It's like, cause it's going to expand your horizons. You're going to talk to different people, different mindsets. I was like, we're not all brainwashed, with that good. So it's going to definitely change you and change your direction, or it may not. And you just may double down on your current skill sets, right? Like whether you go into business or something like that, right? So I tell them like, dude, you're getting out, go to school full time, live in the dorms, live that lifestyle, go get yours, right? Because it's a great lifestyle, man. But like, yeah. Yeah, that same thing, man. I tell you,
it's crazy how many different ways it can go. Because you'll see like the dudes who will be like mill to mill. They'll be like E8, E9s, and they just got like those couples, man. You could just I mean, if you've been in the military, you just know, and they're not living. They living kind of a frugal life, man. You just know they're like set. They're just like playing the game. Then you got a major. See, you got like general and two officers. Or mill and mill, like, and they got everything going. Like, it's just the military. You hear the horror stories and the guys dropping out and all that stuff like that. But it sets you up. I'm here again, Pinku style. I'm here because of the Air Force, man. I just wanted one tour, and it's turned into. It's been almost 14 years now. I've been here, man.
Yeah. And I remember talking to you saying like, dude, you're living the dream, right? Yeah. And I remember you like struggling through it and be like, motherfucker, I'm eating ramen.
Oh yeah.
Like this ain't the dream. And I'm like, no, stay in it.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right. Because it was like people don't know what it takes. There's a difference between knowing the path and then walking it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm a direct product of walking that path. You're a direct product of walking that path, right? Because when I went to being in Virginia, a lot of like Amy's friends were like, well, how'd you just go to Japan? Like, I was like, dude, I just packed my shit and fucking left. Like, and it was funny because like a couple of them, now are living on the other side of, the US on the West Coast. And they're like, and that's what it took. They saw someone else do it and they're like, oh shit, look, that could be me. Right. And I was like, yeah, man, look, dreams are exactly that. It's a dream until you make it happen.
Exactly, man.
Yeah. And then, it may not be all roses. Right.
Yeah.
I was like, but guess what? You're being a master and commander of your ship. Yeah. And that's exactly what it is. It's your ship. You can fucking turn it around. You can park it.
Yeah, dude. I don't get how people like I do get it because
aimlessly.
Yeah, humanity, like the way society is made, and again how it started. You got like little nomad clans of like little. Everybody was a clan, and it's just like that's one thing we can't. Some people do separate, but some people don't separate. They don't separate from where they're from. I'm from Baltimore, and I guarantee you, man. I mean, I could say this fully. I could say this confidently that there's very little people from Baltimore that's ever done a fraction of what I've done in my life before the age of 25, man. It like to be a Baltimore kid living in Japan, running an international business, competing with these shops and doing all the stuff I've done. That's why I guess I can be chill about it because I know like I don't got to do Kanye's. I bring him up a lot because you don't got to be
too many big game hits though.
Yeah, you don't got to be yeah. You don't got
that's exactly what it is. Yeah. Like they just big boys do big boy things, and like that's the the name of the world. Like
it's a bad. It's good and bad because my style, like again, when we talked about the dream stuff and everything, and I remember that conversation. I was kind of just complaining, bitching, but I was never going to give up. Mm-hmm. And I told dudes, I'm like, man, this is 2021. 6.5 years ago, I was sleeping in a 2-bedroom apartment or house with like kerosene heater, and you're not supposed to run kerosene inside the house like that. Oh, sorry, not kerosene, but propane. I had a little propane spot heater. Oh,
different, but same.
Yeah, even deadlier. So I was like, dude, I hope I wake up and shit. And I was like, and I had a full tank of kerosene, but I didn't want to use it because I was just I was paying $400 a month for rent, and I didn't use the power because I was outside. So I was paying like $600 a month, and after taxes, I would have about $200 left over from my first job when I got to the military. So I was making less than E1, and that's why again I don't put my situation like being in Iraq, being from Baltimore, being whatever on people, but I do when guys come into my lane and they start to complain about things. I'm like, bro, you
have to have the minerals.
The wrong one, dude.
Yeah, like I had told, out of all my friends that I've, because there's a lot of people that do IT, right? And you can do IT and still not be successful. Yeah. And like I had one follow my prescripted path, and it was Ken Davis.
Oh yeah, I know. Right? Ken is another one. Yeah,
you know Ken, right?
Oh,
dude, you need to have him
Ken is one of the sickest. Ken is fucking like reminds me of Keanu Reeves, man. One of the sickest dudes living, but he won't. You look at him, the way he carries himself, you won't understand until you see him drive. That's Ken. Yeah, definitely. I gotta write that.
So 2 stories about Ken, right? Ken one, Davis. Put that, pencil that one in. Ken needs to be on here. Ken. So one real quick about Ebisu, right? With Alex, right? The Aussie guys, right? They were like, hey, mate. So, there was this guy here with the laurel, right? And do you know his name? And he was asking like the other Aussie guys, and we're like, oh, blah blah. Ken, and I was like, you guys know Ken? You're like, bruh, and I showed him a picture, right? And like they were like, bruh, he's a madman. Yeah. He was jumping Minami. The whole backside was blown out of his laurel. Yeah. He put duct tape. Like,
Ken was dude. Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, dude.
And so I was like, damn, Ken, the Aussies know you. He was like, it's like,
I want to get him on, but I gotta talk to. He probably be like, because you know how mild mannered he is, man. He'll probably be like, nah.
He's got long hair now. He's out there, right? Like, man. So he was like the first one that like listened to my prescription because, like, when I first met him, he was working for Dodds. He was like a help desk technician, making like 20 grand here. And like, I remember like when I would hang out with him, that dude used to eat like oatmeal for every day. And he was like, it's the perfect poor man's food, Carlos. It fills you up. It's cheap, right? And it allows me to buy these gangster ass wheels on Yahoo auction, right? And like he would like scour, you know, like the internet for like his wheels every night. And it was so bad. It got to a point where it was so bad that he was like, I accidentally bought the wrong offset wheels. And he was like, and they arrived. And I didn't know I got him in the wrong offset because it was like 3 a.m, right? And he's like sleep deprived and like hadn't eaten. But like he listened to what I prescribed him, and it was exactly that. I told him, I was like, hey, look, like there's a difference here, right? Like you're gonna hear what I say, and you can either do it or not, right? And you can either become successful on your own dime. You have to do this. You have to go through that door. You have to walk that path. I can't do for you, right? Because then, you're living a fake life, and I'm not gonna be there every day. Blah blah blah, all that bullshit. I was like, so this is something that you have to build on your own. And he did, and like 6 months later, he did like this whole crazy, dude, you got to get him on, like, because like he did this crazy pilgrimage on his bicycle all over Japan. And like right before he left Japan, he packed up, he sold all his stuff. I'm still upset about this. We had gotten a subframe because we were big on the C35s.
Right.
And we got the subframe like welded up with like I gotta send you a picture of it, man. Like we did like 1/4-inch plate, like
nice
reinforcement on the back. Yeah, gussets, and it was sick. We had one of the Air Force welders at Kadena in Okinawa, like welded up. So it was like primo, like weaved and all, like because this was for Ebisu, and Ken likes to jump, and the subframes like snap. Go blam, like so we got the subframe done, and like I shipped it up there, and like we installed it. And, right before we had already left for the States, and right before he left, he had gotten like an RB26, like, carbon clutch, like, had gotten that subframe out of the car, wrecked car in Ebisu, like, pulled all the good parts off of it. And I was like, ship it back to the States. It's going to be sick. And he's like, no, man, I'm trying to offload all my money. So like he did this pilgrimage on his bicycle, and he'll tell you the story. Like he was going down a mountain, and he's like doing like 60 clicks or something crazy like that, right, on his bicycle. And he had like he calls them upgraded brakes, but like it's still, he didn't have disc brakes. So mind you, he's bombing these hills all over Japan, right, with like the cranky style brakes. And he's like, no, it's cool. They squeal. The bell from his bike like fell off his bike, and it scared the living crap out of him. And he was like, it was the most scariest I've ever been in my whole life, because I thought I was gonna die. Like, dude, man, yeah, he's man, and he's so good, dude. He took us to Fuji Toge, and I remember, like, a lot of people don't understand like toge etiquette, right?
Yeah,
like,
it's definitely a thing. You don't bring cameras out there.
Like,
you don't.
Gangster car, right? Like the lead car is usually the most like gangster car out there, and like he rolls up to toge in his freaking Laurel, right? Couple runs later, he's leading the toge. Like it was sick. And I was just like, dude, Ken is just a man, and he has a CTSV now.
Oh yeah.
Talk shit about it because I keep telling him like you should have got something else, right? Because now he's like, I gotta get knuckles and e-brake, and I'm like,
yeah,
he hasn't drifted.
I'm definitely hit him up, man. That's the thing, man. I know Ken, a very respected guy, but it's like I got so many. It's like my podcasts are pretty much gonna be my people on my buddy list and people who I've known for a long time, like you, that I haven't really talked to, man. So definitely, Ken and I've had Stu.
I've been meaning to get on here for a while. Like, man, ever since I saw you come up with the podcast, and I was like, yo, he's doing podcast.
Yeah,
I can't wait to get out of the black world. Like, I can step into the light. Like,
because you're like you were one of the few, like you're one of the guys commenting on the earlier episodes, man. So I know you've been along for it. So I mean, to see
creepy,
right, to see the evolution from my it's only 101, but again, that was one of those things where, again, it's another thing that ties us together. Before cars, and I still am, I just don't post about it or talk about it. Computers is that's what got me into like electronics. And I went to high school, vocational school. Computer repair electronics was my trade. So my first computer was it was an IBM green and black screen, or black and green screen and everything. It had
radiation and all.
Yeah, had the big dip switch on the side for the on and off power. It had it had SCSI drives. It had the turbo button where you supposedly turbo, and it was just an overclocking button. Yeah, the little golf ball.
I remember. Yeah, man.
So we had the turbo, and so anyway, I would take those apart. No internet connection, so I thought I was connected to banks and shit. I'm like, there's no line, there was nothing, no ISDN, nothing. So I'm like, well, killing the game. I can hack into somebody, and I didn't know shit about connectivity and none of that stuff. So, and I think about 2001 or 2 or 2000, they had Packard Bell. Everybody knows Packard Bell, or if you're old enough. Packard Bell had a inner city program for all underprivileged homes that were under like a certain amount of money to get a computer. So my brother qualified for it. And I was all over. This is back, I was on 56K porn sites and all types of things, man. And that Bear Share, what is it? Bear Share? What's the one that Metallica went crazy over? Not Winamp was it?
Kazaa.
Not because was it Kazaa or?
It was a Kazaa line.
No, Napster.
No, that's what it was.
Yeah, Napster was like unlimited, and that was the first time when you get disconnected, and it would hold your data, and you could reconnect, and it would pick back up. The packets would still stay there, and everything, man.
So, it was, dude. I worked after I got out of the army. I worked for the FBI. I did a stint. So for a lot of people don't know, like counterintelligence in Japan is like there's no real rules.
Yeah.
So like you can pretty much do whatever you want. Yeah. So like I don't condone downloading. So I just want you to know that. Yeah. I learned the hard way.
Yeah.
Because the FBI tracks everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. If you download it now, you're done. Like you're just done. I'm deleting it now. Like they're tracking you. Now there's a difference in whether or not they're going to prosecute you or not. Like you ever see on the news like that one lady that got prosecuted for like she was like in Missouri or some shit, right? For downloading, she had to pay like $450,000, $500,000, right? You know what they did? They scrolled down the list and they were like, her.
Yeah.
So they were like, we're gonna prosecute her to send a message out to the masses.
Yeah.
Obviously, the masses don't really understand that, but like, everybody's name's on there. I used to have some internet handles where I was like.
And you could definitely get into like the VPN stuff. Is like, of course, they're pushing it's like VPN. There's like people think the VPN like blocks everything. I'm like, bro, if they really want to get in, they're getting in, dude. Yeah, they're getting. We don't gotta go into detail because again, I know that's your area, man. But I know.
Oh no, it's fine. Like that's what I'm saying. Like me coming out here in Japan this time around, like I'm a boss now, right? So I manage people. I'm not really but like like I mean like it really a lot of my friends back in the States when there was a time where I was working for Hewlett Packard and I told them printer salesman and they were like, motherfucker, you have a 4,000 square foot house, there's no way you sell printer paper and printers. That's not what you do. And I'm like, yeah, man, like just easy. Dude. I did it because they were like, where do you work now? I'm like, oh, I'm at Carlos is going into DC every day.
Yeah.
Why? Oh, because I was working at the Senate.
Yeah.
Running their operations center there, and like this is like during the inauguration. I saw the Kremlin like crawling all over that stuff. Like it was bananas because like people don't realize that the legislative branch has different rules than the executive branch, right? Army, military, executive branch, right? Legislative branch, they can watch porn on their networks. It's allowed.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
man.
So it's crazy, right? So it's like the whole thing with like Clinton, the email scandal. Guess what? On the legislative branch side, she's allowed to have a private email server. That's why she can get wrecked on it, right? All the memes and people didn't realize. I didn't even realize that until I got in there. And I was like, I started reading the fine print, Title 5, Title 10 code. Like these are like, like things that no one wants to read. But, for my job, I read because, you got to know the rules to break them.
Right.
And it was like, oh, wow. she could totally have that. Now, was it right? Hell no.
Yeah.
Right? But that's why she didn't get in trouble for it.
Yeah,
right?
she's a people don't understand, man. She's a vet. She's
she's gangster. Oh my god,
she just stood in the background and she just like you can even look back in the day and look at Bill's stuff, and you just see her standing off to the side. You can see her mind just like she look around the room like I'm
gonna dismantle you later.
You're gonna go. You're gonna go. You're gonna go.
Yeah,
it's like you could just see it, man. Back then,
I slime you.
So it's like, bro, she's a vet. She was a placeholder, and she's not done by any means.
Right. So like, IT and like Napster and all that stuff. Like, tell people like, hey man, like if you really don't want to get caught doing something,
bro,
like don't get. Like I just don't do it. And it was funny because I got on this app and I saw one of my friends on the app and I hit him up and we'll call him JW, right? And JW, I said, it's like, what the fuck are you doing on this app, right? And he's like, whoa, what the fuck, right? Like, and this is like the text going back and forth. I was like, what are you doing on this app? This app isn't for normal people. I was like, and you sure as hell ain't talking to your wifey on this, right? I was like, so why on this app? And then like before he could respond, I literally sent him the next text. I was like, don't worry about it. I read your history. We're all good. And he's like, wait, what do you mean? Like, no. I had to do this for a forum. And he's sending me screenshots of the knife forum that, when they wheel and deal the knives, they have to do it through there. Yeah. And I was like, okay, cool, man. Don't worry about it. Just don't be on here. And he was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude. That's the thing about, of course, we get to the Facebook and Zuckerberg and then Twitter stuff and the whole, what was your opinions on the whole, the hearing and all that stuff with Zuckerberg and, like.
So your personal data is now what's the word I'm looking for? It is
commodity or?
Yeah, it is a higher price commodity than oil.
Right.
It surpassed personal data, PII, personal identifiable data,
right.
Your history, all that stuff, right? Things you do on these apps is now worth more than a 50-gallon barrel of oil. Yeah. So it was funny because like on the hearings, for Zuckerberg or even that matter, I did a report. This kind of goes back to why I say people should go to school after they get out. I had to dumb myself down to go to school for cyber, right? To get a cyber degree. Ain't no fucking body gonna be able to tell me how to do cyber. I've done it all. I've climbed the cyber mountain. I've done at the highest level. Like I've done it all. And so like my boss at Army Cyber, when they recruited me, they brought me in to be a subject matter expert we built like this crazy new building out there in Georgia. And he was like, what are we going to do about your degree? Because, I'm GED, baby.
Right.
Right. And I'm like, I'm running stuff. And I'm like, what do you mean? Oh, my GI Bill ran out because I didn't have the forever GI Bill. Right. I just had the regular. And he was like, no, you got to finish your degree. And I'm like, do you know how hard it is for me to sit through a class? Like I have to dumb myself down so that way I pass as a strong B student or a C student so that people don't know that what I do. So I don't get all these questions and all of a sudden I'm leading the groups and then the instructors, hey
man, you come do some buddy study type stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and like no man, I'm just trying to be easy, do my coursework, and like be done. And so I was like, nah, I have to dumb myself down. Like, but I kind of like let the cat out of the bag. I did a report on how Trump won the election through social media, and Wired magazine did a pretty crazy evaluation of metadata from searches, right, which is kind of linchpin. So, searching, hits, right? We're all talking about, your social media stuff, right? It's all revenue generating stuff, right? Like views, likes, search engine hits, right? All that generates money.
Right.
So during this is where it gets really bananas and you're like, well, that's some far out shit, right? during the inauguration or pre-inauguration during the race, right? The report was on echo chambers and what an echo chamber is. Right. A lot of people don't know what these are, and they're still using IT. Right.
Right.
So an echo chamber is essentially when you hit that like button, you're essentially telling the algorithm, I like this, I don't want to see that, or show me more of this, show me less of that. Right. So if you think in this world, and there's a lot of dumb people out there, right, that think that, and this is where the Zuckerberg thing comes into play, where it's like, oh, the algorithm does this. And it's like, look, man, IT is created by humans and it's manipulated by humans to do a certain thing, right? And if you think an algorithm can't be manipulated to give you a certain output or a certain sequence of outputs, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Right? So what ended up happening is that Google, Bing, Yahoo, all these search engines, right? Wired did like a crazy analysis of the internet history data of searches for Trump versus Clinton during that time frame. And like Trump was like 13 billion hits, something stupid, right? You could tell it was augmented at a minimum, right? And then, you know, Hillary's was on about like 16 to 18 million, right? So a billion, you know, triple in size versus the next one, right? In the major hubs of what generates revenue, which therefore manipulates other cascading algorithms in social media platforms. So what ended up happening is that they kind of bombarded the social media platforms, and what ended up happening is that the Clinton supporters were liking all the Clinton stuff and disliking, you know, all the Trump stuff. So they were kind of oblivious to what was going on. Right. So when it's crazy. Like if you look back at the interviews, like a lot of the Trump, Clinton supporters were like, I thought we were winning, blah, blah, blah. Like I thought we were, you know, the trends were showing this, because they created these echo chambers.
Bro, that right there, which I mean, all that you were stating, man, it's just like, it's like the guys who are in the know of what's going on with the how power, because a lot of older people, man, they just, you know, a lot of guys in the Senate, they're like 70, 80, whatever years old, right? They're just they're not doing the internet stuff, and even you could tell when they was doing a hearing, they were asking him stupid questions, and you know Zuckerberg is like, you can just see Zuckerberg kind of reminds me of Musk, where you can just see their mind working through their eyes. And he's like, you're asking me about this? Like, you know the questions, or you
dumb fuck.
You really don't know the question to this? Like, why are you asking me these questions? So anyway, it's like these guys, like, you know, they don't know what's going on, and then like people would take advantage of this stuff. Now they do know what's going on, so they prepare for it. And then you get into the things like the message boards and the 4chan and the whole thing with GameStop and AMC, which I was on. I knew about it 3 weeks prior, and I actually bought shares, and then I was like, nah, and then I canceled.
I was like doing some shit, like I didn't even pay attention, right? Like, and then like all of a sudden it was like Amy's brother got in on it, and he made a couple grand. I was like, oh my god, like this is what I get for not having, like, I don't do cable TV, like I don't watch commercials, right? Like, you know, because like the whole IT piece, right? So going back to that story, the ads, it's subtle influence over time, man. Like they start making you feel a certain way. Like it starts changing your mind little by little. Like people just don't understand that, you know, before TV, the first propaganda was radio, right? Newspaper, Telegram. Then it was radio. Then it was TV. Now it's all these vectors for social media, and they don't get it that, hey, it's been weaponized and it is good. It is so good. Like, yeah, my parents, like, you know, I voted for Trump, right? Because, you know, me supporting the military so much, like, I can't deal with what happened at Benghazi because, you know, I was attached to a lot of the teams. I was like, I can't put something like that in, you know, that'll stand by and do nothing, right? In the office, I just can't, right? And I was also I like that someone from the outside bogarted and deboed everybody on the way up. And you know how he did it? He got dirt and he flexed, and it's just an unreal, like, showing of power. in the United States for someone to do that, right? And I was like, that's the kind of person I want flexing on other countries.
And then also,
right?
With Trump, man, also it was a fact that you knew he had money going in. He had his own money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he wasn't as easily. I'm not saying he didn't. I'm not saying he didn't get more money because it's not like you don't want.
They get money.
Yeah,
they get money.
It's not that you want to stop, right? So it's like he was appealing to me because he had. That one fact right there. Nothing else with this alone that he had his own. So I just knew when I knew everything that happened over those 4 years. I knew. I'm like, bro. It was like a ongoing TV show for 4 years.
Yeah.
Like what is he gonna do tomorrow? And then
dude, that motherfucker buck wild. Goddamn.
Yeah, it kind of went down, and then like he kind of went normal, and then it was spiked back up. Then it was just like it was
him having a Twitter account was just bananas. That's first of its kind.
And then after
mouthing off like that, like,
and then Dorsey and those guys after Twitter guys after he got out, it was just they flexed their power with showing okay, you're not the guy no more. Out. Took an account and whatever.
Yeah, so like there's a lot of pieces as far as like, the whole social media piece that like, man, that another reason why I don't have social media because it's my style, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like I said, this is definitely a step in the right direction of me coming back into the limelight. This is crazy. Is that I was telling Amy, I was like, this is like the first time I've taken like my picture outside of like sending it direct text to like family or someone else, right? In like years.
Yeah, but it's good timing because I mean it's again the timing when I asked you, man, and then like of course because probably if I would have asked you 2 years ago, you probably let's hold off on it, and then I respect it because again I was in I've been to this day I'm not in. I don't have it. My clearances expired at this time, but it's still things that I know the critical significance of if I talk about it or don't need to be mentioned, don't need to be talked about. I know I was there, I did it. It was cool to me, and I don't, and that's why I know now when they do the security clearances, they ask you, hey man, I didn't understand why they care about your debts, why they care about who your wife was, why they care about where your wife is from, and now I'm like, that all that OPSEC is a big thing, and the whole Benghazi thing is like, information, man. People who have it, they can set things up just like you manipulated Kyle and got Kyle out of there. It's information, man, and you can manipulate things, man. And then,
and that's people. I was like, you can't trust anything you hear or see on the internet, man. Like it's just like people have such strong opinions, and it's like, dude, where'd you get that from?
Yeah.
Oh, you got from the internet? Oh my god! Like back in the day, there was a point in time where if you found it 3 times on the internet, it was probably true.
Yeah, I mean, you could talk.
Yeah, that was before like the Hydra worms like that crawled the internet, just duplicating shit. Like
because I remember like when I went through college 3 years of Wishcom, the internet they would allow it there was approved sources. Like CNN or whatever, blah, 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 and those are biased or whatever. So when you were doing your thesis paper or research, you couldn't use for a long. I'm not sure how it is now because I haven't been in college since 2005. But you couldn't.
It's still the same. Yeah, you still can't use.
Yeah, right. Because it
has to be published papers from like some chode that did the exact same thing.
Like Wikipedia. Wikipedia was
so bad.
Yeah. Even the time it has an edit button on it that anybody can edit. Like the public can edit that. Like Forsberg won 20 titles actually. Edit that shit in there, man. Like that's a crazy thing, man. So then you get into the Snowden thing, and I don't want to beat up IT. Is just I know you do it. I know
it's a crazy world, man. I gotta tell you, like I said, it's taken me to everywhere I want to go.
Yeah,
right. I've done all the cool things, right? Like, dude, I've got to do ride-alongs with like SWAT cars against like pedophiles and whatnot on busts.
Noble shit.
Oh, it's sick. Yeah. I gotta tell you. Well, so I had a job where at one point in my career, I was watching porn professionally for work. Yeah, and it was like, you could ask Amy when she's on the podcast. Like I heard Carlos got porned out. Like, there was. Yeah. Believe it. Like, because there were like cases. Like it was. Don't get me wrong. There was some good cases where it was like, okay, and then there was also the bad, right? Like bestiality
Yeah,
stuff.
right.
And but we'd have these aliases, and we'd do these investigations, and finally when they go to do busts, right, we got to do some of the ride-alongs, and dude, the FBI is sick, dude. They wait till you're in the shower. You're away from your computer, unless you're crazy like me. Now, after seeing that, like, I have guns in the bathroom, at least in America, like not here, obviously. Yeah. I keep guns in the bathroom in case the FBI demand rolls up, right? Not today, ISIS, right? Like, yeah. And they would wait till you're in the shower, and they'd like bust you while in the shower and in the bathroom, right? Doing whatever, right? And in the back of the squad car, right? Like the HRT and the SWAT teams, they'd be rolling like 100-sided die. It was sick. And I was like, what the fuck's going on back here? And they're like, come on, big money, baby, let's go. Like, right? Highest number has to cuff the dude, right? There's this guy, his name was Sean. I'll never forget it. He rolled like 97 times. We did like 12 busts that day. It was crazy. And he was like, if I have to, I swear to God, I'm shooting the next dude I see. If I see another cock, like, he was like, and by like the 9th bust, right? Like, he was like, come on. And he's like, hey, I mean, we're like going, like, it's like the paddy wagon, right? The SWAT team car, right? Like the big, like, truck.
Right.
And then, like, the paddy wagon following behind. And they were just throwing them all in the back.
No
right?
shit. So there's a bunch of
Buck
naked, in there.
cuffed up, shackle shuffle and all. Like, yeah, they didn't give a fuck. They were like, yeah, you're going to pound me in the ass prison now, boy. Right? So, like, the FBI, they'd be like, they just do you ill. And they come in with force. Like, oh, you're a pedophile? Like, they're...
Oh, yeah.
I saw dudes just getting like... Wow, like body slammed in the bathtubs, like, dude.
Well, you know why, man? Because all those dudes
didn't get broken, like.
Yeah, I guarantee all those dudes got kids, man. That's just like, that's just. I had another guy on. My guy Alexis comes in a bunch. We were talking about, some things. People. Nobody's perfect, and people do things, and it was. But there's some things that is just unforgivable, man. Like, it's just like, dude. And then having 3 kids. And a couple
I got 2 girls now.
Yeah, a couple on the way. It's like, bro, if that was, we want to care for our families, but it's like, bro, if somebody put themselves in a position to me have to get at them like that, like, that's it would.
No, I told Amy, I was like, you never let our daughters out of your sight.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Because you're a dude. You're I mean, and we dudes, and we know what we were thinking back, and I luckily my mom, I mean, this is real stuff. I had my mom on a podcast and we talked about it, so it's cool. But I grew up, and my stepdad has since apologized to me. Actually, randomly one day on Facebook, we went through the situation where he was like slapping on her, and that's one thing, man. I'm 38. I've never physically. I restrained a female before from trying to attack me, but I didn't just held her away.
Shake her,
right. Well, not even shaker. It's like, it's like,
I gotta put a story about that.
But so it's like, but I never touch, and that, like, going through that growing up, you could go 2 ways. You can do it to your wife, or you can be that guy that it makes me, if I see a dude slapping a woman, like, that's the lowest. It's cowardice, man. It's like, slap me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I had told, Amy came down. We're at our house, and she came down stairs and she was like, did you ever hit me?
Yeah.
Like,
randomly?
Yeah, just random. And I'm like this is a test.
Yeah.
But I'm smart.
Yeah.
So therefore
it depends. It depends. No, it's
I'll just shit out of you. And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, I'd shake you. And she was like, show me. And I was like, are you serious? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, okay. Right? We're in her living room, right? We're in the living room, and I'm like, okay, you ready? She goes, I'm ready. Right? And I grab her by the shoulders, and I just shake the shit out of her. Like, 3 seconds in, she's like, like she lets go. Like, I let go. She's like, bah! And I'm like, what the hell was that? She's like, I wasn't ready. Again.
Yeah.
So she hunkers down. And I'm like, don't hit me. Like, you're asking for this. Okay, all right. Right. So, like, I do it again. 2 seconds in, her head's like flopping. And she's like,
that's crazy.
She falls down. I'm like, okay. That's it.
So
like,
now I'm guarantee you can go on YouTube right now because YouTube is a black hole and you can find videos of somebody letting somebody shake them. But yeah, dude, it's man.
Amy's like, hey, would you ever hit me? No, whoa. Yeah. This is a trap. Nope, but I'll shake you.
Yeah. It's like, but she's a full grown adult. Like you never got guys there. People listening, you don't shake kids. That's not good.
Yeah, no. Like I had just grabbed her shoulders, right? It was more for play.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, man. But
now I talk shit. I'm like, I'll shake the shit out of you. She's
I
like,
remember that. Yeah. But that's crazy, man. Like that's just the evolution of how things go and stuff like that, man. And like on a serious note, it can go different ways. So again, on the kids, that's why that story kind of goes into the pedophiles and things like that. It's just like, man, man, and even my kid, we had a situation here, and I keep it real, man. We had a daycare, and I'm still right now just thinking about it is making me angry. My kid was acting strange to this one teacher, man. Again, the military training, the stuff you did and stuff I did, we scan people differently than normal people, right? And I still, to this day, man, I'm looking at rooftops. I dodge trash on the road. I just can't. I did convoys. That's all I did for 3 years. Yeah. So anyway, this teacher, every time we would go there, the other teachers come out, and he would go to them, right? And there's one teacher, and that face was always. She couldn't hide her fucking anger. I can see it. My wife didn't see it. And I'm like, dude, I don't like this fucking teacher, man. I don't like this person. And every time she would come, he would cry every fucking day. I'm like, bro, something's wrong, right? We go another year, and this is at my wife worked at a nursing home, so she was paying $100 versus $300 and whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And everything was cool. And he started getting older, and he was a half breed. And guys that don't know, half breeds they're kind of like they either fucking the Naomi chick who plays tennis or the basketball dude that plays for the Capital or whatever, the DC team, or they're just like, you're a disgrace. And I'm like, not to my fucking kids, man. So anyway, she was definitely doing something, and then one of her coworkers quit. Then she did a tell-all. So she was saying, well, this person, when I got hired there, she was showing me the blind spots. Like, you only know fucking blind spots when you're gonna do something bad, right?
Yeah.
So they were taking my kid. I know this for a fucking fact. They were taking my kid and other people's kids in those corners and maybe shaking them up or slapping them or whatever. Damn. To fucking 2-year-olds. And dude, I'm getting fucking angry right now, dude. Oh, yeah. And my wife didn't tell me for 6 months, man. And I'm like, tomorrow it's fucking done. I don't give a. He'll stay home, so he stayed home for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks with her until we got another daycare. And this other daycare. Yeah. Leaps and bounds, like they're highest rated, and they had a 2-year wait. Yeah, they had a 2-year wait.
Dude, the sacrifices you do for family, like it's nothing. Like people don't realize.
She was like, it's gonna be 400. She was like 400. I was like, I'll pay 600. She was,
whatever it takes.
She was like, I'm like, dude, I'm not so much.
5 jobs,
exactly. Whatever. So he went there, and all the kids are there, and as a result, and also Japan that you guys just got back, they changed now, so it's pretty much free now. They get paid by the government and all that stuff. I was worried because I was worried free was going to mean shitty, but they get paid the same. They take care of their things and everything. We pay like a very small fee for 3 kids. And but anyway, man, it was like, again, that's the military training where I was analyzing and everything, and I'm like, dude, she's doing something like, so I don't know if she was slapping them, she was fucking choking, and I'm like, she comes in one day and fucking kills them. What happens? Now I gotta fucking go.
Burn it down with all of them in there. Yeah, dude. That's what'll happen.
And I'm like, I see her out and about, and when I see her, dude, I give her, because I know if I touch her, which that goes against my, I don't assault women. If I touch her, they told, and I'm gonna get off this in a second, man. My wife, I was like, where's the video, right? She said the police can't do nothing if they don't have video, right? So I was like, okay, if I go there right now and take her to the blind spots, which I know where they are, because I actually know where they are too. I know the camera's right under it. It's in this corner. And that's the shit she didn't know. I'm like, I know where these blind spots are too because I analyzed the room. If I take her in a blind spot right on the camera and slap her in the face, I go to jail within 20 minutes, right? And I was like, what? And I said, if I slap her in the blind spots, nothing happens because the cops can't see it. Like, no, they're gonna come to my fucking house and on my shop and take me away because all it takes is her saying that a black gaijin slapped her. for me to be done. No video.
Yeah, in Japan.
Yeah, but they need video to prove the point. So and this was actually their third strike when that happened, man. So, and I don't have remorse, man.
Damn.
Like, fuck
yeah,
it.
no, you shouldn't. Hell no. You know, you triggered me on something about Japan. You know, just change the subject. You know, when I came back from, you know, IF and OEF, you know, I came back to Japan, right? I deployed from here and then came back here. And I got caught doing like 90 in a 20.
Yeah.
And the Japanese cops, I only had my uniform on with my dog tags, right? Which allows me to get into base without my ID card, right? But I was running home from Zama to like the Sagamihara housing area to get my wallet, which I'd forgotten right during lunch. So I was bombing this straight, and you know they were out there with the little chair and the gun.
And they radio ahead, and they got the baton and shit.
Flag me down. They're like, get over, bitch, get over. Like,
yep,
right, you got that ass.
Yep.
And I get out, I'm in like full uniform.
Yep.
And they were like, oh shit, and they were like, you know, they're trying to ask me driver's license. I was like, I don't have that shit, right? So like. They kind of freaked out and like they were trying to figure it out. They let me go, right? I thought I was going to jail, like insta jail.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yep.
And which I should have, right? And here's the funny thing, right? So a couple weeks go by, nothing happens. I'm like, dude, I'm like E5, I'm sergeant, right? I'm about to get promotable, right, to an E6. I'm like, all right, no one knows anything. It was just me out there.
Yep.
I just slide by through this, right? I get, you know, JAG gets involved, like all this stuff gets involved, right? All my units like, how come you didn't tell us? I was like, I got away scot-free. What do you want me to tell you? You know, like, so I get into all this trouble. I get, you know, suspended, driver's license for the rest of the time I'm here. I'm bicycling to work. But when I have to go to report to the police station, the police chief is the one doing the interview. And I didn't really understand why this was like at his level, right? So we're in this big conference room, like it's like a 60-person conference room, and it's busy. Like there's cops like running in and out there. They're like busy. He has this little typewriter, his coffee, a coffee for me, and 2 chairs, right? And he's like, you know, starts asking me. He's like, hey, I just need to get your statement, you know, perfect English, right? And I'm like, sure, blah, blah, blah. He's like, where were you going? Blah, blah, blah. How come you didn't have your license? Oh, yada, yada, yada. He's like, okay. And he like breaks it down. He goes, I will commune your sentence if you identify the officers that were there that day. Because they weren't supposed to let me go, right? He was about to hang the like 8 officers that were there, right, during my pullover for letting me go. He wanted them to like, he was like
fucking samurai shit, man.
Yo, like he was like,
so
he was like, that's when I was like, this dude's up.
He had the katana ready for their ass, man.
He was, and like I look around and he goes, and the whole room stops, and they all just like whatever they were doing, they just stop, face, and they look at me. He's like, point them out, and I'm like, holy snap! I'm still like, I'm in shock at this point. I wasn't ready for this at all, right?
Right.
And they were all in the same uniform, same helmet, same like they were all, and I was like, oh. And I knew there was 2 girls there. And like there was like 6 women in the room, and I started scanning, and I could just see it in their eyes, dude. They were just like, "Don't pick me, don't pick me, don't pick me," you know, like. And like I looked, and I turned to the police chief, and I was like, I can't remember. And he was like,
did they have mask or not? They had mask on when they stopped you? Because I know even back then.
No. This was like 10 years.
I mean, I
ago,
know that, but I'm saying
like
even back then, you know, Japanese, they would still rock the mask.
Yeah, I know, right? Another great thing about Japan, right? They rock masks everywhere. But no. It was, you know, they didn't have the mask, full face, right? And so like, but now it was like 6 weeks had gone by, and I didn't know, you know,
Right.
I drank way too much beer here, dude. Like, there's no way I was gonna remember that,
yeah.
right? Like, and so he asked me to look again. He was like, you will get off scot-free if you tell me who they are. And I was like, oh. So I look, and I was like, meanwhile in my head, I was like, dude, I can't. Like, I was starting to like get chills in my spine because I couldn't like snitch them out. Right. And I was like, I can't. Like, I'm sorry. I just can't. And the guy was like, okay, no problem. You know, he finished up the typing and like he clapped again and they all fucking vacated the room, right? That's when I was like, that police chief is like, he's a shogun, son. Like,
yeah. It sounded like they're going to make him do seppuku right there and shit.
Oh my god, dude! Like to this day, I was like, I mean, obviously, I spent the last 8 months of my military career, right, with no license in Japan. Yeah. But like that story still remains like, dude, I was in a little Toyota Curran, right, like bombing this road, got pulled over in a 90 and a 20.
Well, honestly, man, like with that, man, like this is a real. I'm not trying to make excuses for guys out there, but when we were doing the convoys, we spent 13, 11 months, 12 months, whatever, with no speed limits. We were just doing and so that's the thing that people don't really like. Yeah, dude, we drove whatever the fucking side of the road that was not bombed out. We drove in the sand, very little because we didn't want to drive over shit out there. But it's like we had no speed limits. We ran fucking the roads, and I know you've been attacked. I know you ain't got to tell me. I know bumper cars, all types of shit, man. Like get the
you see that flag? Like, because we were blatant. Like it was like
side swiping everything.
U.S. flag, just like you see us coming, we
couldn't do it.
Get fucked up. Go ahead, stick that out the car.
2008, they made us take. We couldn't fly flags no more, man.
Yeah, now you know why.
Yeah. We had to take them down and everything, and then the Mark 19 couldn't use that no more. Only 50 cal. The 240, the 242.
Dude, I saw a dude. He was like surgical with the Mark 19.
Oh, like, dude.
He could put like 3-piece nuggets in like windows. Like I was like, dude, how do you do that?
Yeah.
Like I'd be like, whoa.
Yeah. For the people out there who don't know what a Mark 19, just think of a fucking automatic grenade launcher.
Dude, like,
that's what it does. Because we went up TQ. TQ was the first place I went. Because I did my convoys, and of course, the first time you go cross K crossing, I'm like, fuck, is it going to start? And there was nothing happened. And it wasn't until I got to TQ, which is a Marine base. And that's when I've seen, I'm like, holy shit, man. Because we didn't go in the inner cities. We went just the main MSR, ASRs. Around it, we were pretty much
highway.
Right.
Highway, baby.
We were all highway. So we went up there, got the highway, go into there. Then we go down to Jackson Irish, in the which was pretty much ID Alley, and then we go out towards the west. And then I think I took the first convoy, and my guys, we went out somewhere where we never went before because something was broken. And I was like, dude, I'll do it. Give me the fucking the plugger. We use a plugger and a dagger.
Dude, plugger.
Dude,
oh my god!
I can't believe how that shit works, dude. Like
I know.
Yeah. Then they give me like, what the fuck you mean? Turn it Romeo November Hotel.
I told the story. I told the story to before. Okay, when I got out, one of my good friends at the time was getting in, and he had joined SF. He's that 5th group now, but like, I told him a story about like me being on the desert. We ran out of batteries for the plugger.
Oh man!
And he was like, "What the fuck do you mean?" Like, I told him, I was like, "Dude, we had to bring out like the map." And you're right, like
the map.
Because you get so reliant on the plugger. Because don't get me wrong, like, dude, I could look at any map and be like, "Yeah, I ain't lost. There's ridge lines. Okay, I can, let me look around. Okay, here I am, right? Like, and but like, that was a lost art, right? Even a lot of people are like, "Oh yeah, I was in the military." It's like a lot of people don't know how to read maps or shoot a compass, like azimuth on a compass, right? Like, and I told them the story. I was like, dude, I was with other group guys. And then they were like, what do you mean you don't have any more batteries? Because I'm like, the IT guy.
You're the guy, right? Man. Like,
They're like, what do you mean? Battery guy.
This reminds me of True Lies, like, Bazari. Yeah.
Dude, so like, we ran out of batteries. And he told this story to his team guys. And they all rocked batteries. All of them. He was like, yeah, it like burned in their brains. They're like, yeah, we're not going to be like your homie out there flapping in the wind. Because we went like 60 miles in the wrong direction in the desert. Dude. Like, it was bad. Like,
bro, that's life or death right there, man.
Yeah,
that's
thirst has like its own insanity with it. Like,
yeah. You got that was so again. You guys are back. It's like back then. Like me again. When I got there again, it was still dangerous, but we had honey buns. We had fucking rippets. We had MREs. Like you couldn't leave. You couldn't leave your Kuwait. We were in AJ. Was where our base was, where we set up. So you had to. It was an inspection. You had to have 2 box MREs. You had to have honey bun shit was like if you want to take them, and rippets. You would get 2 cases of those. I was not in energy drinks, but over there, dude, I drunk so many fucking rippets, man. To stay awake, dude.
Tang.
Oh yeah.
I sold Tang by the scoop.
Yeah.
For $1 a scoop, and I made like $4,000 off of like a big old thing of
You guys
Tang.
are no fucking Wild Wild West, man. You had you guys had sandbags. You guys had fucking IBA for bulletproof shit.
Yeah, I had the first burger from the MWR Burger King that came into country.
Which one? Where?
This was in Qatar. It was in Qatar. We had came out.
Yeah, I didn't go to
Qatar. They just did that, like all that hot jazz up. Now they got a pool, TGI, all this.
Yeah.
And anyways, there was a camel, and in the desert they have those microbursts, those like crazy like bursts of like wind,
right?
And like 60, 70 mile an hour wind. You're like, where the fuck that come from, right? And like so I bought like burgers for all my team, and like we're all sitting around, we're about to eat them, and like a microburst hit, and like I had like opened up my burger. It was like, and it like separated and fell in the sand, and like the whole team was like, "Ooh!" And like I looked at it, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I just picked it up,
wiped that shit off.
It's the best burger ever.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't had like real meat, right?
Yeah.
Like in like months. So like the after story after this was he was a Marine corporal, Marinez, right? So he was attached to me, I was a supervisor, and he was like, to make me feel better, because I was depressed and my fucking burger just landed in the fucking like sand, right? He was like, "Hey, sorry, Pablo, how much would you give me to punch that camel over there?" And I was like, "Yeah, $50." Like the pool of money got to like $350, something like that, like something stupid. And so he was like, "All right, so hold my burger, right? Don't let it fall." I was like, "Fuck you," right? So he went. Grab the camel. This is like fucked up because like animal rights and shit, but fuck that, we're in Iraq.
Yeah.
He grabs the camel and he like cocks back and he's like, boom, clocks his camel. That camel's like, wah, 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 gives him a 1-2 combo, hooves straight to the fucking face.
Man,
breaks his orbital. Oh shit! Like Marinez, like we go running over there. Camel was like,
they'll like, fuck around,
a
man.
big like amoeba, like nasty, like on his chest, and it was like, wah, and we're like dragging him away. Dude, I was part of the comms team for General Abizade at the time. We were on mission, so like we had to scrub the mission for like the 4-star, because like, there was only 3 of us, and we needed him. He was mission essential, right? We're running light, so like This is the time where I was one of the many times where I was like, I'm either going to get kicked out or he's never going to believe me and something else will happen, right? So like we're standing there, he has gauze, he's like morphined up, right? Like drooling. I'm literally holding him, right, by the back of his like shirt, like almost like a puppet, right? Standing at attention. General Abizade's like in this fucking high back chair. His high back chair, and he's like
looking like a salt
spins around. Shit, he spins around. He's like, "What the fuck happened to Marina?"
Sharpen,
and I'm like, yeah, from a 4-star. That's when you're like, "I'm so tiny," like like. And I'm like, I paused and I was like, "Sir, Marina's betted us that he wouldn't punch a camel for $350. The camel gave him a 1-2 combo, sir." I swear to God, this dude, he turns around, he looks like right at us, and he like turns around, and I see him do like one of these, like, dismiss. He was cracking up, like he couldn't show his face. He was cracking up, dismiss, and I was like, "Yes, sir. Whoa, get the fuck out of here, Marinas. Let's go." Like, it was so bad, dude. Like,
dude. Man, this is crazy. Like this is like this man. It only did 6 years, man, but it was like so. It was like I got kind of. Before this, I was really big into war stuff. Before I joined, and then when I first got my contact my first fire was from fucking Marines misidentifying us, and they didn't answer their radios. We were like, "Hey, we're in your land zone, man." Yeah. Fucking, Marines, dude, fucking shooting everything and helicopter shit coming out, red tracer.
The Marines, dude. We would catch intel. Yeah. We would catch intel from the Marines, right? From Taliban. They were like, "Don't fire when the Marines are around," right? They would only fire on Army personnel. Yeah. But when the Marines were rolling through, nope. They wouldn't even fuck with the Marines. Like, it was ill like that. Like, yeah. Which, like, that gives me like a chug, right? Yeah. Dude. I know. I got you. I got you on that.
They got that. And then like it's man. I wanted to see how I would react, man. So again, when my first major contact was like IED low grade, and I was actually falling asleep. We had the MTS, of course, you know what MTS is and all that stuff. Our pluggers were actually hardwired into the we had daggers. Dagger was like the dagger would compare to a plugger, you know what it is, but guys don't know that. The dagger is like a fucking iPad, and a plugger is like a fucking BlackBerry.
It's like you had the power of the satellite on your hand at that time.
And it's like, smaller. And we learned I did like the plugger because it was bigger buttons and shit. But the batteries,
because you got those fucking Neanderthal fingers.
The fucking dagger was all small, and the plugger was just like they had a big ass battery. We always had those, always did. But when we got in Iraq, we had the pluggers. They were hardwired, and then the MTS was there. We didn't like MTS because MTS, the fucking battalion could track our speed and tell us to slow down. So what we do is unplug our
yes, sir.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
No, magically the fucking plug came out of an MTS, so we couldn't, And the MTS, of course, it was cool because it was like AOL instant messenger in Iraq and shit. We talked to the click on the truck, and then you could see your crew up there. That shit was cool, and it was like, man, I'm talking to the fucking Pentagon, in the middle of Iraq, and then I'm thinking like I'm sitting on this IED for 5 hours waiting for EOD to show up, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I got my buddies back home street racing right now. I know it. They're doing what they're doing, and that kind of fucked with me a little bit. And when I was LVC, so I was leading I led the convoy. I led about 25 missions. I never got lost but once, and that was a shitty feeling, man. Oh, to have I had to halt the convoy. Fucking, I got 20 trucks following me. The other ones, break them in half, don't let the whites come this way and shit. And then and there was a fucking bridge that got blown out, and we had to go back over that shit. And and it wasn't my fault. I just didn't check the coordinates, and I entered the coordinates in, and when it said 30 meters, 20 meters, take a right, it was just the wrong coordinate, man. And one coordinate sent us into the fucking abyss. And man.
Yeah, man. Now, I mean, dude, like there's. Like that's what I was saying. Like, there's a flavor of life that like we get to have, right? Yeah. And I say we get to have, right? Because we somehow was able to come out with no major injuries, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I push it back onto just like someone pushed me, into getting my disability and getting checked out and all that stuff, right? Like, hey man, like I said, you're a vet, get your game. There's no shame in that shit.
Yeah,
right?
man.
And that's what was for me is that this is one of the hardest dudes I've ever met, right? SSR Major, just gangster, K9, like, wolf missiles, right? Like, freaking did all the cool stuff.
Right.
And he was like, yeah, you need to go.
Yeah.
Like, you need to go get it. So, like, but yeah, the crazy thing is because we became Insta friends because he was from Hawaii and he saw my long, beautiful hair, my tattoo. And he was like, yo, you an honorable? I was like, no, but I've been in the Pacific for a long time.
Your story is very similar to my own now with the whole. Again, it's very. I don't find many people that. I mean, it's very fun to talk to somebody who knows what a plugger is, who knows what a dag. Just small shit like that. Because if I say plugger. Yeah, if I say plugger to anybody that wasn't like vehicle ops, they'd be like, "Fuck is that? PLGR?" Like,
it's hard to find, right? Like, you know, because like you can't rhyme if you can't relate.
Right.
So there's very few people that you can actually decompress
Right.
around, or even drink around and like really let loose, right?
That's
like,
why, man. That's why again, dudes wonder why when I get invited. Well, I don't get invited anymore because I've turned down too many times. All right, it was bad timing because I got my pro license or whatever. You know, whatever. I got the pro drift license or whatever, which is like I got my opinions on that shit. But anyway, I started my shop, and right around that time, a new wave of guys got here, and I haven't in the last 5 years, man. Maybe 6 drift events, man, maybe 6, and I live 45 minutes away from the track. Is because I was.
That's more than me. Like couple Fuji was my first time in like 5 years. Man.
So
so like I was like, I was so out of drift.
I was still drift, but I wouldn't do events, and I would kind of go there I would pay for $45 for a thing, and I would 20 minutes. I'm like, all right, later I gotta go, Johnny, and they'd be like, huh? I'm like, dude, I just came up here to do a quick sail test.
Couple hot laps, get it in.
I do a sail test and I leave, and they were like, I'm like, dude, this business, and now I'm getting, it's a great feeling, man. Because I mean, even still, the shit's better 5 years in, but it's never going to be roses, man. It's always going to be,
it's always a grind. I mean, that's adulting, right? Like,
you gotta deal with other people,
dude. Like, I remember you telling me, like, you know, because when I got in with, you know, the Top Garage guys and like Chris Ward, you know, I told them a story about you. Like, Chris, like, look, because, you know, by the way, Formula Drift with the Top Garage guys at Road Atlanta is the best party in Formula Drift, period. Hands down. They're right beside, they got a tent right beside the judges stand, and Road Atlanta is just like, oh my God, that place, like, for drifting, that's where to go. But I would tell them, but like, look, there's like 33 drivers, 34 drivers, like, you know, a couple years ago when there was like a lot, right? And I was like, I told him the story. I was like, yo, Donald Jackson, he's out there. So he told me there was like 90 people at the event. Like, you mess up once, one little thing, you were out. If you didn't score 90 or higher. Like, that was like, 'cause I remember you telling me that story, and I was like, dude, that's crazy. Cause like, I mean, and cause I know there's like some gangster ass dudes out there that just like, you know what? I'm just going to show up just to disrupt the game. Exactly. Right. Like some like Bayside dude just being like, like eat it. Right. I'm bumping you. Meanwhile, you're like struggling, right? Like, you know, prepping. He's out there just to fuck up the scorecards. Right. Like, you know, like, and I told him, like, you know, because Vince Moore, he did that, you know, one of the guys in the Top Garage team, he did that a couple times at these events. And I'm like, dude, that's an asshole move. I was like, that's a real asshole move. I was like, man, you know you can rip. Why are you coming in here fucking up people's points for their license, right? I was like, you're bumping some hardworking dude. He was like, well, you don't deserve it, right? And I'm like, and it brought me back to the story about you know, like how, you know, so many people, the skill is so high in Japan. And I still told Chris, he talks a lot of shit. He's like, I'm like, Chris, man, like, it's just, the roads are narrower. Like, you can't just like be flapping out there. Like, if you do toge, you know, on the street, you know, and you're drifting, you fuck up. Like, you don't stay in your lane. Like, you're going off the mountain. Right, like you're going on a guardrail, you're going into the mountain, you're going into another car, right, oncoming car. Like, no safe zone, right? And it's funny because, like, you know, I have video of Amy at the toge course, right? I had a GoPro in like the front center of the windshield, like facing forward up on the suction cup, and on the short part of the toge course, she came around the turn, went a little bit too wide, you know, that berm over there. She fucking like kick flipped it right off. You know, into the sunset, right? Like, they had to climb the car out. I got all the video, and like the video cuts to like me, like looking at the GoPro, like, oh my God, it's still on. Like,
it's know, like it's a GoPro there. GoPro first in Amy. Yes, that's good.
It's wild. It's so wild because like we came up, because she was the only one on the course. It was like one of those, like, we got there. You know, now it's like well known, right? The week prior to, like, you know, the matsuri, you know. we showed up a week prior and we were getting, days of track time with like 2-3 cars on the track. You know how it used to be before the Aussies like now murder it. Now you got to get there like 2-3 weeks before the matsuri, right? So we were at Toge course and she was the only car on the course, hot lapping, right? And friggin', we see like we don't hear the car anymore, and we see like one of our buddies looks up and the trees goes shh, right? And we're like, that's weird. Like, we don't hear the car anymore, right? Because it was a RB, Laurel, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. So we got in the car, we rolled up. Amy's coming down the mountainside, and she stops. She's like, we're like, where's the car, right? Where the fuck is the car? So we come up, the reverse way, right? We come up the reverse way. You don't see anything. We're like, and then like somehow in the Broadway, like I look and I see just a little itty bitty piece of the tail light, and I'm like, get the fuck, no way! So like, she went off course, like yeah, it was crazy. They had to crane it out, like it was, man, what a great time, man. But yeah, there's that week prior, again, when I first met Chris, I was like, dude, you don't drive with gloves on? He's like,
oh, dude, no, bear.
I was like, bro, you've never driven for 8 hours straight. Like, you have no idea. And, they're like, they talk a lot of shit. Oh my God, they're the whole, I love those guys. Like the Talk Garage, all of them, they're all sick. Great bunch of dudes, but they are horrible human beings to each other. And they'll tell you, they talk a lot of smack. Oh my God, it's like ruthless. And like they're like, we don't need gloves. I'm like, oh my God, you guys haven't drifted, because they don't really hot lap in the States, because insurance and bitch ass reasons. But like drifting and here where you just hot lap all the time, and you're expected to be a good individual and have track worthiness, right? You get tired, dude. Like, you get so tired. The arms are tired. You're sore. So I'm looking forward to all that. Like, I really want to hit Mobara.
Bro.
I feel like if I show up to Mobara, I'm a fucking jabroni. That's it.
No. Mobara, dude, you been there before?
Yeah.
Mobara is that's like it became one of my favorite tracks instantly, man. Like it flows.
It looks like it's heavenly. Like, so we went to Nico.
Nico's cool.
So I observed that Nico got some bomb food, man.
The katsu curry is really good.
Yeah, that's what I had the chicken.
You sent me the picture.
It was delicious.
It's
delicious. Yeah. We saw. I was like, oh, look at this.
Yeah,
motherfucker.
Yeah, dude. Because by the time I got there, they like, I'm on a new wall because the other ones is like packed.
Bombed out.
It's like packed in there, man. So
such history. Man. Oh, the culture. So our buddy was there, and we were just pulling pit duty just to we like to go watch and still do stuff, just like we don't have our car set up yet, so that time we went out with STF and we rented that 180. That thing ran at 79, 80 degrees all day. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this thing doesn't get hot. It's impossible. Stock SR, it's impossible. I was like, what the fuck did you do?
Yeah.
Right? What kind of juju?
Probably had the clutch fan on there still, because I know in the States, man, it's a thing, and that's why I put a video about it. It's one of my most popular videos. I'm like, dude, if it comes to the clutch fan, it needs a clutch fan. Like the E fans, unless it's a really good E fan and you got great ducting, it's just not going to hold up to that static flow. So it needs the ambient temps and your sideways. They're like the air is in the front, not the side. So like cooling is a big thing I preach to my customers, man.
It is. SRs are very temperamental to oil level, temperature, right? Oil temperature and water temp. And like, people ask like, oh, Amy's SR, right? Because we got it built at Speed Factory in Okinawa, which I highly recommend anyone if you're doing any work in Okinawa, go to Speed Factory. Holy cow. They gave us a rocket of a motor. And she's had that thing for what? We're in Okinawa 2010. Yeah. So like it's still running same motor. hard, right? Like that thing, yeah. And they're like
S4
impossible.
S14
I'm
SR.
like, yeah, it actually
Oh,
said
really?
S13. Yeah, it was a red top.
Man,
Yeah, and then we
that's
did the
oh
14 valve cover.
yeah.
Like, yeah, so
Yeah,
like
that's right.
they
Because I
built us
sent
a
her
rock.
the. She bought a valve cover through me in like 2018, 19. Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember
yeah.
that.
We
I
used
remember
that
that.
one. We had MA chop it. Yeah, they did the little
Yeah,
chippity
that's what.
chop,
That's right.
and
That's right. Yeah, man, my bad. I
yeah.
couldn't hook you guys up on the car, man. That was just the Corona.
Ah,
Yeah,
dude, don't
nah,
worry about it. Like,
the guys messaged me, man, because I'm like, I get a lot now, but
dude, you're so
yeah,
busy. Like,
yeah,
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 I
dude.
know,
I
I
was
know.
like,
There's a
man,
lot
I
of
want to hook him up
fakes
with a
and
car because I mean, to be honest, man, this is
yeah,
again, I keep it real. I have a lot of buddies and friends, man, and acquaintances, man, and they like they'll rather go to a guy that has, let's bring up LZ, a guy like LZ, which nothing against LZ. I gave LZ his props for, we talk about him a lot, but they rather go to a guy that has something else attached to him, not only a good quality service and good ethics. They want a guy that has clout, and that's again, we get into the social media kids where they rather go to June Auto or Top Secret if they can get on the
yeah,
books and wait 2 years to get a sticker, and I do the same job and I do it the same quality, same tools, same torque specs, but they pay
yeah,
30K versus 22K, whatever. Let's arbitrary numbers. I'm like, hey
yeah,
man,
yeah,
I took it to heart the first year or two, but then I realized, dude, I'm a consumer too, so I don't go to Lowe's, I go to Home Depot. I mean, it's
yeah.
can't get
It
mad
is
about
what
that.
it
But
is.
again, I'm
Like,
very appreciative that you even emailed me and asked for my assistance. Is just everything has been nuts here, and everything has been,
yeah. Plus, it was like
dude,
COVID. I couldn't
bro.
get out there.
And then
Like,
I linked you with
dude, I
Rahman,
know.
which was Rahman's he's a great guy to know. He does all my exporting, and he also runs the team. He
Mm-hmm.
runs a FD team in a US. He's running a D1 team, and he likes drifting, but he realized that, and that's a hard pill to swallow. He realized he's not like top level caliber, so he rather manage.
Yeah,
So he did that route, man, and he's still,
yeah. Dude,
yeah,
I'm all about the
yeah,
fun part of drifting.
yeah,
Like, and what we realized is that, I got that, 110
yeah,
Mark II
yeah,
out here, right? So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna Jay-Z
yeah,
swap it. It's gonna be sweet. And then I
yeah.
was like, holy shit,
bro,
like the
bro,
prices
and
for like
you've been
Jay-Z's
here,
and like
you've been here,
154s.
so you remember,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
yeah,
I'm angry.
yeah,
First, it's way expensive, right?
yeah,
Second, I'm like, dude, so this is where I'm at now with the
yeah,
Mark II. I'm gonna LS
yeah.
swap that bitch. Yeah, I'm gonna start shipping in motors to LS, like bulk
Well,
containers
when
of LS at
I've attempted to go that
5.3.
route and kind of didn't pan out, so when you do it, I'll buy one from you because I talked to
Yeah, no,
James
I'm
and
doing it.
I talked to a few other guys, and
Yeah,
I had an
no,
LS.
I'm
Yeah,
doing it. Dude, I'm
yeah.
flat out doing it because like here's
Let me
my
know, man. Let
scenario,
me know.
right? Like it's kind of like what I did with my FC. I bought the FC before they were like 10
Right, right,
G's, right, for $500 the shell. Got my motor for $600, 5.3 junkyard motor, right? Like sweet. Put like 3 grand, 4 grand into the motor to make it like bulletproof, turbo, all that crazy
right.
stuff I did to it. But at the end of the day, I got the motor for $600, right? And I'm like, man, $600, I can put a throttle
Yep,
body, injectors, and a
done,
tune, and
and
I'm
you're
at 400,
done.
500 LS
Yeah,
done, right? I'll CD09 swap it here for easeability of parts because
yeah.
CD09s are like
They are. Yeah, 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 yeah.
$1,600, 17 new, right? And run like a single 6-puck ACT and rock it all season, right? So like my buddy, when I looked at it from that perspective, it was like, damn, I could get the Siki swap. Even if I got the Siki CD09 swap for that kit, which is like 15,
Mm-hmm.
$1,600, I'm still in
Yeah,
cheaper
exactly.
total price with
That's crazy,
shipping
dude.
on an LS than I am with a 1J and an R154
That's
without the
crazy,
clutch.
man. It's crazy.
And that's stock turbo, stock everything, right? And I had the whole intention of running a 1J. I got the 272 cans from BC with the springs sitting in my closet. And then when I got here, I'm like, oh my
Yeah,
God, I'm gonna have to
yeah,
sell this
man.
shit, right? so now we're already in it. Like the guys over, Danny at STF. When I told him, I was like, I'm gonna LS swap my shit, and he was like, I want one. Right. So like that, being that STF, they're like the closest shop that caters to like the Y plates and whatnot. It just so happened that because my buddy Joey, he got his car built, some work done there. So he introduced me to Danny over there at STF. And, each shop has their, gremlins and whatnot. I get it. But
I'll talk to you offline about this. There's definitely some, I don't know him personally, but there was an associate who I actually no longer communicate with, oddly enough. And there was some stuff that went down with those guys, and I was trying to tell him how to go about it, and he went about it, but he went too far. And I'm like, man, it's being a shop owner, and I run my shop the way I do because I run it in a place where nobody will ever like catch me red-handed doing anything out of, I got pictures, images, videos. I got over email. That's why email. That's why I do email. Facebook, it gets, you block me. I can't see things. You know how. And and also, I mean, even my email server that I have, I've had it for a long time. I mean, Facebook is not my office space, and there's too many businesses out there. For the guys who are listening and watching again, if you're doing business, man, it's good to promote on Facebook, but it shouldn't be because if Facebook had that one day when they blacked out for like 2 hours, or it was like a day where Facebook was just, it was maybe a server cable got cut or something like that. Guys like, oh man, I can't get to my customers. I'm like, your customers should have never been in Facebook's database. Yeah,
direct connect.
So you got quotes in there and all that crap. That should have been offline. Facebook is just whatever. That's that's a whole different rant. But anyway, you mentioned STF. Yeah.
LS is
so anyway, once you get that, so my thing, this is how I'm like, if you already got it in motion and everything's going, once you get the batch, I'll buy 2. And yeah.
Yeah, I actually so my buddy Devin, right? Like he's in Arizona. He has 2 junkyards near him that have like 10 rows of like Chevy 1500s. And so I'm like trying to figure out, I was like, all right, if I give you, it's $250 to pull a motor with everything you want on it. So I'm like, if I give you $500 per motor to pull, right, I'm still coming in cheaper, way cheaper. So like we're figuring it out as far as the logistics piece, getting like
we'll speak on that.
We'll talk about it. But yeah, I'm trying to do LS Swap Mark II and just murder it out here. Put in a little cam, and
it's just
because like Amy's like, I want another Laurel, like, and I got to keep the drift game down, right? People don't know building 2 cars is rough.
Yeah, man.
Like, dude.
Yeah, they got that, and then like that's why again, I think we're in the same mindset. Again, we love Japan for what we love it for, but we've been here long enough where we're not jaded by it anymore. And we just live normally. And my thing, my shop, my goal, every shop should have a goal or different thing. My thing is not, I mean, there's a protocol and a way to do things, but as far as like just doing a cookie cutter builds and things like that, that's why I got different types of swaps, and I'm bringing in a Barra because to my knowledge, there's no Barras. To my knowledge,
right.
So that's in the works.
Barras,
so I'm looking
like,
at. Yeah.
No LSs.
What the thing is, in my guy that just won the championship, Masanori here in Mori, they did the LS, but they were doing it they're knowledgeable, but that's not their base, right?
Forte.
So they did. He had the LS 3, then he got the LS 7 from Kubo, and he blew because he was driving it like a SR. He was driving. He was you know what I'm getting at. He was.
Yeah, you can, but you got to do some things to the motor to like have it withstand the lifters don't like it.
They didn't have AccuSump until later, and then after the third one, they just out. So he did. They took it out. Yeah. So then he won the championship with 2. So it's 2J. Everything is like,
yeah. Oh my God! When we were at Fuji, the pros, like the D1 Lights champ was there in his car, and it was just like. They bombed the straight, and all here was, and that wasn't the rumple strips they were hitting, that freaking anti-lag, and it was just like, which is awesome because my daughter was dead asleed through all that with the headphones and the earmuffs,
Yeah, man, it's just crazy to see how it changed. But I'm that's like I've already put it out there I talked about the bear thing back in 2000. It was like 2018, 19, but it was just logistics, and even more so with the Corona stuff. And I think it's all about connections because I got a guy there now that I can get the whole setup for under 6 engine, trans, and shipping. So it's looking good. It's definitely going to happen. I just got to take care of some other things. But again, logistics. I could put anything anywhere in the world, man. I could put anything in the world, and
we got to talk because I've done
200.
Because there's so many engines out there, right? Like it's kind of silly because it's like an untapped market,
and but
you know, and it's
Japanese man.
How come
Daigo already has a
but they
don't drive it. Yeah,
like
right.
Yeah, and anything LS here in Japan is like, yo, it's like 20 grand or higher.
Yeah.
Right. I see the Escalades, I see the Suburbans, right? But those things are like 70 grand. So I'm like, I see what you guys are doing. You're marking it up like way.
So I had an LS1 451 or something like that, and I paid $3. It was a toilet impulse buy. I paid $35 ship, and I held it for about a year or two, right? And then I had to sell it. I put a CX Racing turbo kit on it, and I sold it to Power Group. So my engine is in Sendai. I drove it down there in a K truck, LS1 with turbo shit on a highway. I was getting all the looks in the world, right? So I take it to Sendai. It's been there for now 2.5 years, marked up to $7K. I'm like, dude, I'll give you 32 to take my engine back. They want to sell me my shit back for $6K. I'm like, no, dude, I sold it to you for fucking 33.
Do you not remember?
I'm a black dude with a mohawk. Like, you know who I am.
I know.
So they hit me up. It was like, we have potential buyers. Like, all right, well, I know this game. It's been all 7 months. I'm like, what happened to that potential buyer? So I'm gonna get my LS back, dude. I'm gonna get that one back.
Yeah.
And then
don't do it, man. Like, look, we're gonna try. Like right now, I have enough. I have enough buddies that are like,
I want two.
I'll buy 2 motors because, like, you know, we do a container. We all split the cost on a container. That's pretty cheap. We can stuff like, even if we do a 20-footer, right? We can stuff like 12 motors in there, you know, and then it doesn't matter what the contents are. Full rotating assembly on a brand new billet, right? Is 15, like $2 grand flat.
Crazy. Wait, hey man, let's because I do got. I'm looking at my clock because I got a guy actually just messaging me right now coming in for a appraisal, and but yeah, man, because I don't want to get. I like putting stuff out to the public, but some things they don't need to know just yet. But anyway, hey, Carlos, man, it's been awesome. I definitely think we're gonna do this again, and also look forward to meeting with you guys down there because I'm gonna be all out and about. And then also, you guys are fully welcome to come up here. I got cars. MSP is 45 minutes from where I'm sitting at. I can rent the whole track. Well, I don't need to rent the track. It's Monday to Friday. There's nobody there because they.
I want to do an onsen trip out there, dude, man. Like, get the onsen game. Dude, we love it. Dude, we love it. I like to get. We're here. We've only been here for like 2 months. Literally, this is 60 days. Like, we're out here. We're out here.
We'll definitely link up. I'll get my wife speaks English and everything, and get them to link up and everything. I try to teach her how to drift in a JZX81. It just she let go the exhaust is cut under the seat, and she let.
Yeah, you're an asshole.
She let go of the wheel. I got it on tape. I'm like, no, you got to hold on to it because the exhaust got all loud and shit. And she let go of the wheel and went like this. I'm like, no, dude, you got to drift.
Yeah. When Amy taught me how to drift, like she was like, okay, and now let go of the steering wheel, right, on transition. And I went like this. My hands hit the roof.
Like, no.
Like, she lost it. Yeah. She died. To this day, I tell her after we were at Fuji, I was like, hey babe, like we've come a long way from hands on the roof. And she was like, yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. That's crazy that she, and it's generally the other way around. That's why, again, man, she got Amy, man. Like, if they're gonna have the cliches, like, the most influential women in the thing, man. She, granted, like she didn't do like D1 Ladies League and stuff like that, and that's kind of starting to come back around. I know Sumika. I want to get Sumika on here, but she's shy, and Sumika from Team Orange. And everything, man, and we talk all the time, but yeah, man, Amy, dude, like again, man, is to
want to get her in it. Yeah, she's stay at home mom. Yeah. She could do it.
Yeah, definitely, man. So she like she don't. Again, it's crazy that I just had my last podcast was my guy who actually introduced me to the life, and then like you say, you're on here as a byproduct of I didn't realize how fucking connected we were, dude. That's crazy, man, but.
Yeah, it's very, it's like I said, it's a tight knit group, small world, and especially when you come out to the Pacific, people just don't know, man.
Yeah, it is, man. But anyway, man, we're definitely gonna do this again. It's way too much to unwrap in the podcast. Guys are there again. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Once Carlos comes back onto the thing, well, I'll put Amy's tag on it now so you guys can see the what they do. Yeah,
the madness.
And I definitely I messaged Amy, so I'm waiting for her to make her. And there's no rush. When she gets ready, hopefully she'll.
Dude, she hit me up. She was like,
"Yeah,
I don't know what to say."
Yeah,
like,
she'll see this one because it's you, and then she'll realize I don't plan, like I don't have any notes, man. I just take notes as I go, but I don't. Oh man, so what did you do back in like that's CNN shit? It's like
it sounds like it's a sign to go.
So anyway, guys out there again, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Again, Carlos, thank you for joining the podcast. It's gonna be Donnie signing off from Asawa, Japan, and we're gonna see you guys later. So peace. Take it easy.